Welcome to the No Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 22 of the No Practice Podcast. We are in the heat of pulling season now, so much that I'm not even getting to enjoy my glamorous studio. I'm out here in the shop, busy turning rotors, cutting pulling tires. Adam, you can see, has spent a lot of time rearranging his collection of Chapel Hill chairs, and Chase is reminiscing of the days of sports behind him. The only downside to being in the shop is I do not have my Chase Interrupts board. So, Chase, you're going to have to watch your tongue tonight. Do you think you can manage that?
I'm still looking for my Chapel Hill chairs. What did you say to the start? What was the intro there?
Yeah.
Great to be back again, episode 22. How the hell did we get to 22 of these episodes? I do not know, but every other Wednesday is a day we and a lot of fans circle. So the beauty of it is it's still daylight outside, and Daylight Podcast, the best podcast, because that means it's pulling season. Adam, love your backstage backdrop there. No pun intended. Welcome back to the 22nd episode of No Practice Podcast.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm back in this room again because Ron Tobin is here working in the other shop, and I don't want too much noise. Luckily, for last week, your guys' crew did really good in the background working without too much noise. So, unfortunately, we're not like that. So
yeah, I did see Mr. CJ Grazik make a couple of passes behind Chase last time, and I'm sure Chase felt weird last week, having people work on prepping stuff. I'm sure Adam feels a little bit weird, having people work on stuff while he's just sitting here. Sure. But I don't personally feel that guilty because my father and two of my friends all hopped in a vehicle together to go to a local asphalt track and watch some racing and drink beer. And I got stuck back here because of this. So just know that is my level of dedication. That's why we made it past episode 10 and we're on 22. Isn't that right, boys?
Yeah, but truth be told, they were sitting at this little asphalt strip with their phones out watching you in the No Practice Podcast.
It wouldn't surprise me if one of them pulls it up at one point in between heats for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on. Shout out to our last guest, Joe Ader. I think since he came on the podcast, he's won 3 of the last 4 hooks he's had. So maybe there's something. Maybe one of us, me and you, can get on here and get a win and have someone else host. But the No Practice Podcast has changed the trends for a few competitors this summer. So shout out to Joe, and then we have Mr. Robby Lemke and Lemke Motorsports tonight. We're going to the diesel world. Special guests. Excited to have them on. Coming off a big win Saturday, convincing win at Rockwall, Iowa. I think 30-plus feet, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think Esden and his son won as well at Chapel Hill. That's a highly competitive class like the mini rod class. So excited to have a little different flavor in here and having some pro stock blood. And we can probably get into the debate of pro stock, diesel versus alcohol. So shout out to the Lemkes, and look forward to chatting with them as we get through some of this fun content we have ahead.
Absolutely. What have you boys been up to on last weekend? You did some pulling last weekend, yes?
Well, we participated. I don't know how well we did as a collective. Apparently, I forgot how to run a tractor, or 3 of them.
But the mini rod class will do that to you.
Yeah, it's definitely the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I mean, it was pretty neat to me that we got to pull on Thursday and Friday. The weather was good. We ran okay. We learned some stuff. I definitely threw some different things at all the tractors, but one in particular, and I went the wrong direction. But when you're in that 4th, 5th place, you're near the front, you're doing good on and off, but not continually winning. You got to try something, and it didn't work for me. So we definitely had some regrouping, but it was good to pull Thursday, Friday. We left Saturday morning. We got home Saturday night and enough time to watch the pool. It was the first time I've ever been home from a pool on a Saturday from a 2-day event. So Sunday I was able to get majority of my work done.
It's not a bad concept. Sit at home and watch it.
Well, it was nice, but I was able to get a lot of work done. So I'm pretty happy with that. But we've had all kinds of shit going on around here. I got some new workers. We're working on some stuff in the shop. I had to put a new refrigerator in the motorhome yesterday. Take the window out of the side of the motorhome.
You pulled a window out of the side? Was that just to get the fridge in and out of it?
You can't get the refrigerator out the door, so you have to take windows out. And so me and my buddy Tyler and Rick, we actually whipped her up pretty quick there. But obviously, thank them for the help. It was quite entertaining, to say the least. I mean, Chase, you had a pretty decent weekend. On and off the track. I think you had some motorhome issues too as you were coming home. Tell us a little bit about your weekend before the trip home.
I love your empathetic statements. Decent. Yeah, our best finish collectively, I think, was 8th out of 8 unlimiteds. So I think we did pretty well.
Here. Same here, brother.
Top 10, baby. All right.
Obviously, it's no secret we're here to promote pulling and the greatest motorsport in the world, as we call it, but every weekend is different. Like, you can literally, and we're participating in the mini rod and 2-wheel drive class with Brian McDonald, and it's almost, you have to like almost coach yourself sometimes, because when you go to certain venues and you do so bad, you don't want to totally blow up the operation, because the next week it's totally different. So we were not very good at all there. And it's very funny. The Theobald team has been kicking ass all summer. And I didn't realize that until I heard maybe Grant Theobald say this, but they had won out there every night on Thursday night mini rod pulling, which not a surprise, they can win any time. But there's something to be said. Certain venues, certain teams do well, and those guys have pretty well got where they're doing well at every venue. But yeah, it'll humble you quickly if you think you got this figured out. You don't. It just worked that night. It didn't. You don't.
They're still new to the class. They got a long time to screw stuff up.
Yeah, because, I mean, we can't mention Rockwell, Iowa, and Grant Theobald without mentioning that iconic moment, I believe it was last year. It had to have been an afternoon hook. I wasn't personally there. When the poor guy just had a dust cloud behind him, and, man, middle of a points race, I don't know if he went 200 feet. I mean, that track dried right out.
There's no such thing as having any of this shit figured out. It just worked that day. That's something I really stand by. It helps me keep my sanity. At least, yeah. But then
I think that same day that he barely got moving, I got second. Had people coming up congratulating me. I'm like, really? Don't congratulate me on that shit,
Yeah.
Sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're unlucky. Though.
Exactly.
It is part of tractor pulling.
I don't have my 25 chairs behind me, but I would take a second place congrats. So we're just a little different in that.
Hey, if you say too much, Chase, you'll be like Steve Burge, and they'll give you a chair out of pity. He still has not won that pull, but they gave him a chair for trying for numerous years.
No way. They gave him a pity chair?
I think they did.
Man, what a
chair.
This is 2024. We're handing out participation ribbons in tractor pulling too.
Yeah, it was close. I think they ordered one too many, and they just thought, man, this guy, he really needs it. And
yeah,
kind of funny.
As we always try to, with our guests, try to do a good job of exploring the travel stories, and we really take it for granted the miles we travel and just assuming we go A to B always safely. Like, it's amazing if you accumulate the miles, all the competitors, staffing, everyone travels to get to an event. Like, we really don't probably give enough thankfulness and grace to just going somewhere safely. But on Sunday, it's about a 12-hour drive from Rockwell to where we live, and I was technical difficulty. It's about a 12-hour drive, and I like to drive fast when I'm driving vehicles. Probably not the safest thing, but I left 6 a.m. Sunday morning and it was about 5:40, and I was coming up on the exit where we get off, and I hear a huge boom. Like, not gonna lie, I was not paying attention, which may or may not have been on my phone. And I look behind me and I see something bouncing the road, and my dad's falling behind me. And I'm like, well, what the hell was that? Was that a tire? Then I go to accelerate and just, nothing's moving. And all of a sudden I realize I have problems. But fortunately, we coast in to the exit, put it in park, call my cousin / fellow teammate, CJ, who on a Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, when he's not pulling, is probably consuming adult beverages with his family by the pool. But needless to say,
I doubt it.
brings his truck out there, and we hook a chain to it and go the last 2 miles through town.
Wait a minute. So you thought it was a tire, but it wasn't. What exited the vehicle?
It was the drive shaft. Blew out. Yeah.
Must have forgot the grease day to grease that baby.
Yeah. Probably could add a little better maintenance program on that. This is the first time I drove this thing all summer, but here you can see the beauty of towing a flashing light truck, pulling a camper and RV through town. So,
well, it looks like from the distance I'm looking at, it looks less than 20 feet probably apart.
Yeah, it looks a little sketchy.
Yeah, it's quite, especially when you got guys driving the vehicle in front of you who think they can take turns at 30 mile an hour. Eventually, people just get out of the way. But I didn't have time to get my phone out for that one because I thought we were going to kill somebody or myself. But yeah, we made it back. The last 2 miles were adventurous. Everyone probably has stories like this, but this is a story this week. But the funniest thing that happened, I got back to the shop, and CJ, my cousin, did not go to the pool with us last weekend, and he was giving me an earful of how bad I suck at pulling, which right what I deserved. And like it was on, and I finally just left the place, call Adam, catching up with Adam like we all do as friends. And I'm like, yeah, we had this drive shaft blow off here at the interstate, but I'm pulling over here. I think I see it right here. I'm pulling off the side road to get it. And Adam's in the middle of conversation, and I'm like, hang on a second. And all of a sudden, Adam hears a, oh, shit. I'm like, screaming, this car. And I'm unfortunate, if we had this on video, we would probably be the most viral thing in the United States right now. This car was going down this interstate, and literally I stopped to get this drive shaft. It freaking just takes out this drive shaft, goes in the air. Like the car starts immediately just pouring radiator fluid out. Like they pull over the side of the road. The drive shaft comes bouncing down the road. The car's on the side. I'm like, Adam, you're not going to believe this. And long story short, they went and got the side road. I went and got the drive shaft. I turned around. I'm sorry for listening. I did not stop to check on you, but I just did not feel comfortable in that situation. So,
well, I think it would be the reason he told me, and not throwing anything out here. He said it was a really long drive home. This was just a couple miles from the house, and may or may not have been some beverages in the vehicle. And he's like, they're calling the cops or something. I mean, they're on their phone right now. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Not everything on this podcast is believable. So take the fiction, nonfiction filter. But we're all about public safety and driving safely. So hope
the drive shaft. Is that correct?
Yeah, I found it. Yeah. I did find it.
They found it too.
Yeah, it was that was part of it's in the radiator they were pulling out. So anyway, yeah, that was all we saw.
What was that?
We have seriously technical difficulties.
How am I doing, Adam? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
You're good.
Okay.
What about me?
Well, my weekend, I didn't destroy anybody's radiator, but my sister's getting married here in a couple weekends, and so I got the privilege of hosting a bachelor party up north. And in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, right there, neighbors with Wisconsin, my dad's got a couple 100 acres up there, so we went up there with a group of us guys and had a great time. And when I got on here tonight, you guys probably didn't recognize me because, like any men do when they get drinking, we started having some Roman candle fights. And I burnt off half of what I have for a mustache here, which was very tragic because I didn't have a lot to lose. But
Amish look tonight, like in my head.
Yeah, I know.
Tonight.
I barely look recognizable now compared to what I did look like. So that was a good time up there, as men do. You know, we're grilling on the Blackstone. Yeah, we do have a video. So it's the second shot. The gentleman in the light blue long sleeve shirt. I'm shirtless running across that one right there.
Oh, that was direct hit.
My face hit me right here in the left lip. Just boom, right to the face. And I will tell you what, Roman candles hurt quite badly. But you know, that's part of a bachelor party. You got to launch fireworks at each other. I mean, there was moments where we were grilling supper on the Blackstone, people sitting in bag chairs around the fire, and people would just grab a 2-inch mortar and just loft it into the campfire. And people would just go scrambling. And my one buddy, Corey, had just the right amount of beers. He just sits in his chair, takes a drag off his cigarette, sip of his beer, and he looks at all of us and he goes, I'm not friggin' moving. Mortar goes off. Red hot coals are landing on the poor guy, burning holes in his shirt and everything. His chair's on fire. There's just smoldering logs all over the place. How somebody didn't get seriously hurt is beyond me. So that was one of the days. And then we also went canoeing, and we found a good size snapping turtle, and we picked it up. And Kyle in the front of my canoe, he held it down below the rim of the canoe, and we paddled up alongside of our friends. And we took this frickin' snapping turtle and we tossed it right into our friend's canoe, causing just absolute sheer panic. Our friend Tim from Chicago, not really familiar with turtles or the UP, as you would guess, and he was not a fan of that poor turtle. So the poor turtle was a little bit shaken up, but thankfully it didn't get a hold of anybody. I did try to get the turtle to bite the bottom of a beer so I could shotgun it, and we were unsuccessful. So
Damn.
Challenge to any of our listeners out there, if they can catch a snapping turtle and get it to bite the bottom of the can and shotgun it, we'll give you some free merch perhaps, because it's harder than what you'd think it is. So that was my weekend. It was a pretty good time and successful bachelor party, I would say.
So brother-in-law, I think, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was after the last podcast that we did when you were at Goshen or something. I think the brother-in-law, the soon-to-be brother-in-law, maybe had a little bit too much to drink after.
Yeah. After 3 days of pulling in a row and hanging out way too late at night, I think he had some bad fair food or something. Maybe. So
somebody didn't change the grease out on the funnel cakes.
Yeah, I think when Adam and I were FaceTiming late one night with CJ, he had some bad food he had to take care of. So I mean, he's getting the proper introduction to all sorts of activities. So yeah. Good times.
Good. No leg injuries this go around, just facial burns.
Well, I did.
You got to watch these activities, Tyler.
I messed up my left.
I'm sorry. Every time you do something, you're getting injured.
That is true. I messed up my left shin a little bit because we were having more Roman candle wars. We actually got to the point where we were just taking firework cakes and just holding them at each other. So they have like 200 rounds that go off. And I was just sprinting towards the woods for cover and not paying attention to where I was going, and I ran right into a deer stand laying on the ground and now messed up. The good news is my right shin is all healed up from the Torch Lake incident. So all in all, we're doing pretty good. So
Amishman Tyler, because that's all I can look at now when I see you as a man with no mustache. Before this podcast was in existence, were your weekends always this eventful, or are you just trying to create content?
No, they're pretty much always that eventful. I don't know how, but we always find ourselves into some sort of random activity. If we're not pulling, we don't spend much time at home. We're always going.
Could you imagine the content you have if people would just keep their phone on around?
Oh, it was
you guys. I mean, us. We do some pretty dumb shit too. But
it was nuts. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever messed around with smelling salts at all. Like, not
boy.
I don't know, not like drug smelling salts, but like
interruption. Is this the same as that fucking hot chip shit, or is this like a real thing?
Well, kinda. I plan to try to buy some and bring them to Bowling Green so you can.
Boy.
It. But like, people use them for weightlifting. You like put them underneath your nose, and it just like sends something through your whole core that just like completely shocks it. And so my buddy bought the strongest ones you could get, and we would wait until somebody would pass out inside the building. We would all tiptoe in there like the Grinch stealing Christmas, and everybody'd be gathered around giggling, and we'd shake them up and we'd open it. Looks like a little pill bottle, and we would just put the person's nose right in the bottle, and you'd wait until, they're all guys that are half drunk, so they're snoring, and you'd hear them go. The poor guys would just flip and convulse and roll right off their air mattress, and we would all giggle, put the cap on, and run outside. So,
jeez,
it was quite an experience.
We probably need to get a disclaimer at the start of each show, like nobody under 18 can watch this, and if you do watch it, you're at your own risk for anything you hear to do with this on this podcast.
Yeah.
From towing RVs to smelly salt to freaking playing with fireworks.
We do dumb stuff. Don't do dumb stuff. But
20 minutes in, it's
maybe when we get Robby Lemke on, we'll ask him what his favorite prank he's ever pulled on another puller? And
Yes,
that
would be a great question to ask.
would be a good question for him. Yes.
There won't be a lack of content from what I hear when we get the Lemke team on. Also, need to point out it's Robby, his son Esden, who drives the tractor. I believe Robbie's dad and John Link joining them as well. So we'll have a whole crew there. That way we can get away with any, slight fibs at all. There's always someone to call out. So excited to have all 4 of them on here shortly.
Absolutely, absolutely. On the way home from the UP, eventually I quit driving. I had enough, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and everybody knows that the Cybertruck has come out recently, and I did find it pretty awesome. A lot of people hate on the Cybertruck, but I think it's pretty badass. Tesla, like the company Tesla, owned by like the richest man in the world, chose to use the avenue of truck or sled pulling to demonstrate the power of the Cybertruck in a recent video. And not that we got to like totally dive into it, like just take a minute and think that like the richest man in the world probably sat around at a table and was like, this would be a good demonstration to show the people what this thing is all about. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not.
Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Yeah, when that stuff came out, I think initially I saw an early one, and they've redone it a couple times, haven't they? Because somebody refuted it.
Hang on. A couple different versions of it. Like,
did Elon Musk do this, or some YouTuber do this?
No, this is the one I saw.
This is Tesla's YouTube account chose to post this, which, pull and sled, white chalk lines, track markers for distance, like the whole 9 yards. So I thought that was pretty freaking badass that Tesla chose to do that.
Well, they did this against 2 other trucks.
Yeah. There's a whole video, and we don't have the time to do that.
Whose sled is that? Like, where is this taking place? I didn't even know this existed.
I would assume it's out in California, just because that's where a lot of that stuff's at as far as Tesla. But there it is. Like, they're trying to show how badass this thing, and they chose to.
Look at that. There's hardly any slip from those tires.
Well, yeah, all that freaking torque, and the thing's generally quite heavy. And like, yes, we know the box isn't that heavy. It went 318 feet, but like, if you have time, look this video up. It's pretty cool. They do a pull off against all these.
Looks like they have a Rivian there, another electric truck, a Ford.
Pretty neat. Although I did see also
those Tesla trucks are like a real thing on the road. I saw one the other day.
Yeah, I've seen like 2 of them. But and also, side note though, I am surprised the back of that truck didn't rip off, because there is another YouTuber out there, Whistling Diesel, also just released this past week the video of him destroying a Cybertruck. Well, he put it up against an F-150, and the back of the Tesla got ripped off when he was trying to test the Cybertruck. He basically bought a brand new Tesla Cybertruck and was just putting it through the paces, beating the crap out of the thing. And I don't know how the back of the Cybertruck could rip off doing a sled pull, because look at that thing.
Tyler, who the hell's Whistling Diesel? What is this guy?
Chase, what are you, 40 years old? So look at that. Frame snaps in half, deduction of point. So this guy literally buys brand new stuff and just like puts it through the paces and beats the crap out of it. Not to plug this guy too hard, but like, he's got a whole freaking tank and everything. He's like a big deal influencer.
Is he on YouTube?
Yeah, he's on YouTube. He's got a tank. He literally drove that Jake Paul boxer guy into his last boxing match and everything. He's quite the character.
In a tank?
In a tank? Whoa, hang on. We were pulling the freaking Tesla promotion on this podcast. Who the fuck is who is Whistling Diesel?
He's got a tank, brother. He needs to pull the tank against this. All right, enough Cybertruck stuff. Yeah.
So he takes them and destroys them.
Yeah, he's got to look at this tank.
Hang on, let me see. Jake Paul.
Yeah, he's got a tank.
Better. What is better for Jake Paul?
You know you want a tank, Chase.
Jake Paul. So for anybody who don't know, Jake Paul, isn't he the boxing guy that like he started out the YouTube boxing, right? Now he's boxing like legitimate boxers.
Yeah, he calls a bunch of people out like professionals. Honestly, that's what I feel like. That's one thing that pulling needs more of is people. We're all so polite, and nobody calls each other out on stuff like that. There's no.
So grudge pulling.
unless they're eating a hot chip. There's been some grudge pulling with hot chip challenge. That's the only grudge pulling known to man right now, right?
I think the big difference between what we're doing and what they're doing is there's a lot more fucking money dealing with their stuff than ours.
So is this is a guy that's on College Game Day every week?
Who's that?
This Jake Paul guy.
No,
College
I don't
Game
think
Day.
it's on College Game Day.
No.
Who's the one on ESPN?
I don't know.
It's Pat McAfee.
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. No, you're right. You're right. So
Pat McAfee is the state of Indiana, brother.
I'm sorry. And the Jake Paul is the Ohio guy. That's right. I got him mixed up.
Yeah, in there's two brothers, Jake
Look
and
at
Logan
Chase.
Paul.
Chase, look at this. Even Bill Voorhees checking in. Whistling Diesel is from my hometown, Argos, Indiana. He makes insane money off his YouTube account. Even Bill Voorhees knows. So
Shit. Get out from that rock you're hiding behind there, Chase.
Whistling Diesel from out. So basically, the No Practice podcast has a chance to go viral if we just document the shit we tear up every week. This guy tears up Teslas. We tear up pulling trucks. The only difference
Let's face it, Chase, the two vehicles he had there wouldn't combine to pay for hardly a 2-engine modified.
Yeah, no.
Disagree? Really. I don't know.
No, that's interesting because the stuff that goes viral, we're all about growing the sport and getting the messaging out there. So I think, as Tyler said, or was it you said earlier, we just need a camera on us all the time and people will get on and watch us on YouTube probably. Whistling Diesel. I've actually heard of this guy. I just never – I'm not good at putting names with product and so forth. So these
should we move on to the Man I Wish There Was Practice segment?
I think so. It's that time of show.
All right. Well, we have a little – do we watch the clip first and then call them? Is that the order we should do this in?
Hang on. Other guys, they were stalling on Instagram. They were looking for the new shit to bet on. What is this? Better guys.
Well, enough. I was gonna call our
Your phone, Tyler, is too close to the Mikey.
Well, how am I supposed to call people for the Man I Wish There Was Practice if I can't have my phone towards the
no idea.
What was the clip? The better guys. What was this?
Evan Crikey. I saw those better guys. They were saying on Instagram they were looking for new shit to bet on. Well, I guess you need to manifest it out, brother. Traffic pulling.
What is it? So we can get the Tesla guys there.
Absolutely. More eyes on pulling equals more dollars from parade alley party. All right. Is my phone fine by the microphone now?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's pull up our wild ride clip and have a little phone call, shall we?
Go for it.
All right. Video.
Mr. Producer,
Mr.
roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hi, are you with Mr. Don? Can you put him on the horn?
Stop. This can't happen.
Don, can you hear me? I'm doing great. Boys, can you hear me on the show here?
No.
Oh, Jesus. Can you really not?
Yeah, we're getting a little interference.
All right, hang on. I'll send this number to Adam, and Adam will give you a call, guys. Apparently, my microphone's being a piece of crap. All right,
Chase, does yours not work?
This is super awkward.
This is super awkward.
This is quite possibly the worst technical difficulties we've ever had on the show.
It's that missile silo you're hanging out in there that's getting corrupted.
I probably shouldn't have tried to do this show from the shop here. So my apologies for technical difficulties.
Isn't that a building inside of a building?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Let's. I sent the number to both of you gentlemen, so if one of you can give them a call, and let's roll the footage and talk about what's going on here while one of you guys get that text and give them a call.
Okay.
All right. So this person's a super farm. It's Mr. Don Slama, and we can see the tractor starting off, and it for a super farm, she gets pretty rowdy and doggone near flips over.
Holy cow.
How about that? Chase, did you get the text, Chase?
Yeah.
Can you give them a jingle?
Hang on 1 second.
Guys, how about these?
Wow, a little smoke rolling there, coming down the track at a very harsh angle. Oh, shit.
It's not very
thing-
often you see a
Yeah,
super
that thing kind of got
Almost
silly.
roll over.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello?
All right. This is Chase and the No Practice Podcast. This is take 2. I guess take 1 was a failure. Is that the way I took it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who am I speaking to?
This is Tori and Don Slama.
Tori and Don Slama. I guess you're on speaker, right?
You got it.
How are we doing in Hillsboro this evening?
Well, we're just watching the activities. It's a nice night. Just can't wait for Friday night to come so we can blow some black smoke.
So as part of the No Practice Podcast, we always have a segment each week. I'm sure you all may or may not tune in, but we always show a segment of we like to call "Man, I Wish There Was Practice." And with it being the Hillsboro Charity Pool this week, one of the biggest pools in the world, we wanted to profile. There's been some speculation that Don himself may or may not ran a super farm tractor out of bounds. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it. Don, is it true that at the Farm Machinery Show that you ran a super farm tractor out of bounds, or is that someone else driving?
No, that was my lovely granddaughter did that one.
Well, it kind of takes away from the rest of the segment because the no practice segment, we always ask the drivers how you got to that point or how you did that. So we were going to ask, how do you run a super farm out of bounds? But I guess you can't answer. Is that correct?
It takes very little skill to do that.
Do you mind being tell a little bit more on what you mean by that?
Well, when we were kind of talking before the I told Tori, I said there's a little thing in the front of the John Deere hood. It's a chrome deal, and it's meant so that's where the middle of the tractor is, and you pointed at shit. And I said there's when they put you in with a telehandler, right in the middle of that stoplight that's down to Louisville.
Yeah.
And you'll find.
Yeah, but I did not do that.
She's been going with me ever since she could hardly walk. And I thought she was a better goddamn learner than that. But evidently she thought Grandpa was shitting her.
Yeah. So it was either a bad teacher or a bad listener. Which the two of you say it was?
I'm pretty sure I know which answer that's going to be.
Put it this way. We walked. It's a good thing you got to walk from the main deal over to Broadbent because I was really fucking calm by the time I got. It was about 6, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
I was walking pretty high and fast, but I wanted to get over there and give her a hug and kiss her on the top of the forehead and say, "Hey, you really fucked up, but let's get back on it. Do it again next time. Just don't run out of bounds." That's. I told her we've been running that tractor for 20 years, and that was the first time it went out of bounds, and it's going to be the last time. So she agreed.
Yeah,
right?
I think Chase had a vendetta. He was looking for a clip of Don Slama getting out of control or running out of bounds, and there's none to be found.
Yeah, the rumor had it that you are going to get that Don Slama guy on the podcast and ask him how you run a super farm out of bounds, and someone sent us this video. But luckily, we got both of you on here, and the smoke is cleared now, and there's no confusion. It was just a lack of bad communication, and I'm sure it will never happen again. So we're glad got you on here. We do want to talk about your pool this weekend, the Hillsboro Charity Pool. Great cause and great initiative what you all do there with that pool. Just real quickly, I know it's a busy week for you, probably your busiest week of the year in terms of just what you have to do. Give us a quick background and highlight and anything anyone needs to know about the Hillsboro Charity Pool.
Well, we started this I think we've been with PPL for 17 years now. Before that, we had a what we'd call a great big crush call, and then we wanted to go big time. And it started out. I had a friend that was in the service, and he was a Marine over in Hawaii, and he got nickels to rub together. But he was a really good shit. We used to party together all the time. Well, he got tired of the Marines in Hawaii, and he went AWL. You know, he just left, and it took him about 6 months for the government to find him. But then they hauled his ass to jail and kicked him out of the Marine Corps. And so fast forward, he had a bunch of health issues, and he, like I said, if he had $1 million, he'd spend $1.5 million, and he never had any money, and he got really sick, and nobody threw a benefit for him because he was kind of a badass, you know. Nobody didn't give a shit about anybody. And we were sitting around the shop one time, and after the poll, and I said, hey, why don't we start this nonprofit so we can take care of a lot of people like Billy that other people don't. And it's really grown. I mean, we get a lot of support from the community. They thought I was out of my goddamn mind when I said we were going to bring a big show to Hillsborough. There's James and his 2 kids that live in Hillsborough, and there's a couple other, and there's probably only about 6 people in Hillsborough that really like tractor pulling, honest to God. You know?
Including your wife, Don?
Oh, no, my wife lives in LaValle, and she hates it. You guys know that. I asked her before, I think, we got a granddaughter. Sally's got a granddaughter that's 5 years old. I said, you going to bring Sadie to the pull? Goddamn right, I'm going to bring her to the pull when she's 25 years old. So,
Wow.
Well, in 20 years, fuck, I'll be dead by then. So
That's good stuff. I got to ask Don, because we've talked about it amongst ourselves, me, Adam, and Tyler. I think it's pretty cool that you're a promoter of pull, but you won't let there was a year where you did not have super farms there. Is that correct?
yeah, that's right. This guy pissed me off.
Do you mind to tell?
Yeah, he told me that we had a shitty show. We had a shitty track. Well, guess what? You think we got a shitty show? You don't need to show up then.
I bet he came to next year, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I like that.
So you didn't have your own class at your hometown pool because somebody said something to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll even go one better. And we're good friends now. We always been good friends. But one of the first pulls we had, we started out with a single track. And the second year, we put a dual track in. And we didn't have a hard winter. So up here in Wisconsin, you got to have frost to make everything settle. And we had a soft spot in the second track. Well, the 2-wheel drives are pulling. And Lisa Tatum's kind of like I am. She'll tell you whatever the hell comes to her mind, you know.
Yep.
Everybody else drove around the goddamn soft spot, and Lisa, being a girl, drives through the fucking
Don, what a silly goose.
And anyway, she's all pissed off, you know. And she comes up to my daughter Sally and said, you know, this is the worst place in the world to pull and all that. It took the 2-wheel drives about 15 years, they've been hit back. It took them about 8 years before they got invited back. So
more of the story for any competitor coming to Hillsborough, if you have a negative opinion about the track, just keep it to yourself. Noted.
Yeah.
You can give me your opinions and all that, but just we try really hard, and I think Tyler, you will vouch for that. You know, we'll do anything in the world to make the pull happen and to make it a good from start to finish. So the guy that's number 1 or the guy that's number 22 has got the same chance to win. We all go to too many tracks. The day before the pull, they bring a fire truck up just on the track and think it's enough water, and it's crap. You know that. And,
sure.
Yeah. No, absolutely, Don. We wanted to hear you tell that story for yourself about not even having your own class, and we definitely appreciate as pullers the effort that you guys put into having that facility. And as a mini rod puller, I've got no complaints on my end. So
No, that was I went there 2 years ago when I pulled with PPL for that year, and it rained the entire time that we were there. And they worked their tails off of it. And Don's in the driver's meeting. He says, we're going to have a pull. If you don't think we should pull, then you just get in your shit and you get out of here. And I tell you what, that track for mini rods was scary good. Like so good.
Badass.
That, I mean, is a badass track. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, I hate to see anybody tip the son of a bitch over, but I kind of hope, Tyler, we build that good for you this year that you can kind of do maybe a double roll instead of just a single.
I'll fucking do it, Don.
Hey, is the It's No Joke tractor going to be there? Because he's doing pretty good right now.
I think what I would do, I know what I would do, and we'll just put this out for you mini rod crazy guys. Anybody that does a double roll, I'll pay $1,000. How'd that be?
Awesome. Oh,
What-
yeah, sure.
What about just a single roll, Don? What about flipping it onto the side? Is there a bonus for that?
Yeah.
You're whipping out on me. Double
That-
roll's going to be hard.
Can you just at least meet our deductibles to go to the hospital? I mean, some of us got pretty high deductibles with these insurance rates right now. Maybe it's $2,000.
I think you could probably just give away that pallet of Busch Light beer, and we'd call it a deal. So
Well, we can get 3 pallets of beer. Oh, yeah, that'd be hell. I'd do that.
Awesome.
If instead of $1,000, you get a pallet of beer. How would that be?
there we go.
Even better.
You'll have plenty of people challenging that. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
You put that out for me. Maybe we'll just do it and make it simple. That you just gotta have a wreck. And I get to be the judge that if it's a cool wreck or if it's just a goddamn little wreck. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll call it a pallet of beer wreck.
So what you do is you have a separate drawbar where you are allowed to put it at 14 inches for somebody and see if anybody can run it.
I'll do it.
I think that would take care of itself.
It'd be like a mini demolition derby then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
People-
there's starting
people
to be
would love
so
it.
many mini rods that, they would probably enjoy if we just had okay, anybody want to tear their stuff up? That's one less we have to watch next week.
Yeah, a thin the herd class.
God, I'm glad I come on this because you promote that. We'll have the pallet of beer wreck.
Yep.
The no
All
price
right,
pallet of beer wreck.
So for anybody that doesn't know, this coming weekend, Hillsboro, Wisconsin, great 2-day event put on by PPL in a facility that is purposely built just for tractor pulling. They have paved to the track. The pit area is set up excellent. The track is phenomenal. All kinds of room, runoff. Great. Wisconsin's beautiful this time of year. So for anybody that's in the area, please go see it. It's for a great cause. Like I said, how many people buy tickets for this pallet of beer? It's a lot, isn't it?
Well, here we're hoping to raise $50,000 this year, so that's $25,000 per night at $20 a ticket. That'd be 2,000. Let's see, 2,000 tickets would be $40,000. So we got to add another 500 to that. So if we sell 2,500 tickets, that makes us $50,000.
Wow.
And what we're going to do, we're going to give Friday night to a couple small towns to their EMS deals. So we want to give each one of them $12,500. And then we had a couple, when we come back from Joliet that night, we had a really bad storm here and 2 houses got struck by lightning. And we're going to give that money on Saturday night to people that lost their homes. So in addition to another $30,000, we're going to give to the charity itself to fund it for the year. So we hope to give away $80,000 to $100,000. How would that be, guys?
That's amazing.
And this is not the greatest motorsport in the world. Who else does that? Totally gives back to community. Don, appreciate you and what you do. It's truly one of the best events of the year. And did not aim to insult you by bringing you on here to ask you if you ran out of bounds of Super Farm. But Luckily, in the free speech world we live in, you summarize what really happened. No pun intended there, Tori, but we appreciate getting the dust and the smoke settle and all that, Don.
Well, she's had I'll get off in here in a second, but she went down to. She's never drove a goddamn tractor till last year. We farm. She don't get her ass on a tractor. She don't. They don't. My son. You think he's a fucking hillbilly? He doesn't even want. So she we put her up in a pawn shop, and one night we took it out on the gravel, and James started it up. He backed it up a couple times. He revs it up, and that was the extent of her driving there. We went to her day. She did all right. She did pretty good. And so she goes down a side, puts on a killer, kicks everybody else's ass, wins it hands down.
Yeah.
I didn't go that. My wife had something going on for me. Grandpa's just really charged up. She's going to go up to Highland, Wisconsin the next night, and she's going to kick their ass up there again. I just know she is. James got the thing running like 110%. And I'm laying in bed, and Highland, Wisconsin is actually like less than an hour away from Hillsboro. And I don't hear from anybody. It's like they're fucking dead,
Where did I go?
Nobody calls me. James, when she won down a side, man, he was jacked up. You'd think he had a case of beer in him, and nobody calls. So I call him up. He don't fucking answer the phone. So now I'm worried. Did somebody get hurt? I'm kind of thinking this. Well, she picked the front end up. It was a good track. She picked the front end up. And she did another thing that Grandpa told her never to do, turn the fucking wheel. She turns the wheel to the right, and goddamn near wins that pallet of beer up to Highland. That she one-wheeled it for the longest time and broke the front end, bent the weight bracket, tore the differential out of the goddamn thing. And James called me about 2 in the morning and said, we're all right. The tractor's hurt a little bit, but it's all right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So I'm thinking Tori's going to call me next morning. Shit, she don't call me at 8 o'clock at night. She says, oh, I had a little accident. My ass. So,
but you still love her, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. She's gonna drive Friday night. Her brother's gonna drive Saturday night here. So,
Love it. Love it.
I
Good
know
stuff.
how to drive a tractor now. That's all I gotta say.
That's right.
Hey, everybody wasn't perfect right from the get-go. We've all had our issues, so
I think
investors.
the mini rod is sticker in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if I'd been you guys' age when I was young, I'd either be dead or I'd be in jail by now, because we did. You think you fuckers do some crazy shit? You think you got nothing on my generation?
I've heard that before, but I don't doubt you at all, Don. So, Don, appreciate you. Best of luck with your event this weekend. For you fans listening, Hillsboro Charity Pull this Friday and Saturday, August 9th and 10th, Hillsboro, Wisconsin. Get there, see the best of the best, and obviously, above all, giving back to a good cause. So, Don.
Yeah, and there is a tarp for the track, so make sure that if there is rain in the forecast, which we hope there isn't, they're going to put this pull on whether rain or shine. So be there.
Yeah, there's supposed to be no rain at all. So
Cool.
When are you coming up, Tyler? Tomorrow night?
Yeah, I should be there tomorrow night or early Friday. So
Okay. Well, we're open all night long, so
absolutely love it, Don. Can't wait to see you and be there in less than 48 hours.
Thanks, boys.
All right, guys. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Don.
See ya. Funny guy right there.
The guy's
If
the
anybody
man.
doesn't know Don Slama, he's an absolute character. You can just see a little snapshot into the guy he is. My apologies to everybody with my phone causing some technical difficulties. This is the first time I've done the show from inside this building, and for whatever reason, my cell phone does not want to cooperate with my microphone, so I couldn't hear you guys. I didn't know if you were talking. Sorry if I interrupted there, going there. Where were we before I put my phone so far away now? Hopefully you can hear me now. Yes, are we clear?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We should have had a GD tally marker for how many GDs were dropped by Don. But yeah, we were. I think our buddy Evan there. Speaking of better in that group, there was some comments made in regards to better, and I think something that they had shouted out on. Is that correct? Did I see that on the comment section?
I would hope if that's the case, our backstage is prepared for that.
Drum roll.
What is this? What do we got going on here? God, that guy's got so many tabs on. We need your help. Most electric. Okay, guys.
Uh-oh.
Guys, our backstage is letting. Okay, I can read it. We need your help. Start it over. I'll do the voiceover here. Yeah, we don't have any sound. Does somebody want to read that? So, punting league, we won the biggest bet of our lives at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Looking for something bigger and better. All of that is more to come. We're going to travel to one event that somebody comments on this video and make the betting bowl of the summer. The only rule is that it has to be in the United States. It needs to be in the month of August. So comment that local event of yours that deserves more attention, and we will come out there and give it the attention it deserves. Come back Sunday to find out where they're going. Are you gentlemen thinking what I'm thinking?
I think we need to reach out a little bit.
I think we need to hit these guys up.
I think we need to get these boys to a tractor pull in the month of August, is what I think.
Well, just happens to be in August, might be the largest pull in the world. I mean, that would be a good one to maybe.
There's one coming up next week, right? In Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yeah, all of you folks, get on that video and tell them rascals to come to Bowling Green.
We need to manifest this.
Bryce Roberts, send to Bowling Green. Bryce, I'm going to help you out there. What you mean is send them to Bowling Green. So after you're done watching this live stream, get over there, tell those guys to go to Bowling Green, and we're going to get them there, and we're going to show them what a good time's all about. And if they're into betting, I'm going to bet them. There you go, Bryce. Bryce has got the them. We're going to bet them that I can shotgun a beer faster than them is what we're going to do.
Well,
and speaking of that, I think there's been a number of requests, and we got to get to our guests here shortly, but we have worked some things on the back end, and we're going to do a live no practice podcast, another version live from Bowling Green, Ohio, next Wednesday night. August 14th, a week from tonight. Yes, it's not every other Wednesday, but it's back-to-back weeks. And we will be there live and in person working on details of what time and place that will be exactly, but we'll announce it, and it will be plenty of information out to be there. When you're there, we will have giveaways, good times, all the stuff we like to do on No Practice Podcast. Have a good time and promote the sport of pulling. So,
yes,
more
1 week from today, live at Bowling Green. Stay tuned for the location of where we're going to be at, but we are going to be doing our thing with all of our people. I believe Wednesday's concert night. I would presume we will do this before the concert. And speaking of Wednesdays at Bowling Green, everybody knows our homeboy, Mr. Jeff Hodem, who was a previous guest on the No Practice Podcast. He reached out to me today, and he said, let the people know tonight, after the concert Wednesday at Bowling Green, karaoke is going down at Jeff Hodem's trailer. So not only do we have you guys trying to get out there and get these social media folk to Bowling Green, we've got the live podcast a week from now. We've got the concert. We've got karaoke after that, kicking into the largest pull of the summer. What more could be better than that? Should we quit blabbering and get our
Not yet, but there will be a little bit more insight what's going on at Bowling Green. I think myself and Tyler might be doing a little live streaming of the pull.
I forgot about that. Not only are we doing all of that we just talked about on Wednesday, but on Thursday, Adam and I are going to be doing the live stream commentary for Full Pull Live. So if
we're going to kick him out, it's just going to be me and him, and we're going to lock the doors.
If you didn't hear us last time at Toma, We were pretty green to it. I feel like we've got a little bit better handle on it. And also, I'd like to say last time we did it at Toma, we did it on the back end of the weekend. So our voices were a little bit shot. We were feeling rough. We're going to be coming into this relatively fresh, other than Wednesday. And we're looking forward to it. Chase will maybe join us as well. Chase, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll let you drop in, but I want to take away from y'all's thunder next Thursday night. So
okay.
I'll come in as a sideline guest person.
All right. Can't wait. Shall we bring in our guests backstage? Do we have them ready? Look at that. Look at these boys. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Look at that shiny piece of equipment behind you.
Yeah.
What a beauty. What do you got? 4 of us here? You might need to back up your camera.
Get a little bit closer and act like you like each other.
Yeah.
There we go. We're running about 30 minutes late, so apologize. You guys waiting backstage.
Sorry. We had another fellow Wisconsin guy on there, and Slama's just tearing it up on there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Don Slama or not.
Yeah. Once or twice.
Yeah, you ever talk to that guy?
Yep. Goddamn.
Talks like a sailor, I tell you what.
And he's a big Lutheran yet besides.
Oh, boy.
Yep. So
Don't start.
give us some background. Obviously, we see the pro side in the background. Lemke Motorsports is a well-known name in the diesel pro stock performance world. But are you all in your personal shop or your performance shop, or where are you right now?
Yeah, we're in our dyno building where we keep the tractor.
So needless to say, that thing's been dynoed a time or two within the last few months. Seeing the performance last Saturday at Rockwell and as well a couple weeks back with Esden win at Chapel Hill, that thing's been on a roll. Are you willing to reveal what is working so well, or is it just things are lining up right? That's a highly competitive class, but where do you give the credit to as of late?
Well, we're just getting our setup right now, actually. I mean, we're just dialing it in and starting to run good and making good, consistent passes. And we used to be good years ago, too, but it's been a while.
Me too.
Yeah.
Will be like that.
That's such a poor answer. We're getting our setup right. So, what are you doing different?
Tires and just gearing and things like that. A lot of weight, move some weight around and things like that, Trying to use the power. I mean, we dyno and it makes a lot of power, but we don't do very good. And just trying to get it to hook up. And
have the tires had anything to do with that?
A lot. Yep. Very much
You guys run Metoses like most of the other guys do now?
Yep. We have Bob Nichols and then Chad Mayhill's actually cut this set of tires.
How much did the Metoses change the game for you guys?
Oh, geez, it's quite a bit, actually. I mean, last year we didn't have a very good set, and we were probably 20 feet behind with that pair of tires,
So there's good sets and bad sets.
Yeah, I think we got a bad set.
So what sucker did you sell the bad set to?
Oh, I can't even reveal his name. I'd be embarrassed.
That's probably best. That was a little bit of a bait and switch there. I was wondering if you were going to answer that one. So well done. You passed that.
Yeah, he called me. I didn't call him. How's that?
Oh, boy. It happens.
Love it.
So can you tell us a little bit, Esden, here, obviously at Chapel Hill? I was dumbfounded, actually, whenever they announced over the PA that was your first ever Grand National win. Do you know how special it is to win a Grand National pool, but do it at Chapel Hill?
That's pretty cool. I mean,
I could never win a chair.
no, he's never even been close. I got first and third. I beat him both times.
The pro stock class is relatively new to Chapel Hill. So, I mean, give us a little bit of your take on what you've heard in the past of what Chapel Hill is, and then after pulling there, what does it mean to win that pull?
It's a damn good track. I mean, I was definitely pretty excited about it. And we pulled down there. First time was like 2016, 2017, and we got our best was fourth, I'd say, and I got first and third. So that was definitely awesome.
That's right. So first place on Friday night, that means that you're on the TV show. Saturday night is on the T-shirt.
Yep.
I do believe.
That's pretty cool. We never.
Yep.
So
that's cool.
We don't normally plan a lot in this show. We just kind of wing it, but it's probably not fair to formally introduce everyone. Obviously, Robby and Esden, the drivers of the New Generation Plus. Will you fellas mind formally introducing us to the ones beside you and give the background of each?
That's my dad, Bob. He started this whole deal, and then me and him been running the tractor for quite a few years, and then Esden just was a little shit, and now he's taken over, and this is our friend John Link from Texas that has the Revelation Pro. We just brought him for entertainment. We wanted to be like Hildebrands. It ain't cool, but
you know, John, I think you and I have drank some beer together, haven't we, sir?
That might be a true statement.
Yeah. I don't even know what pull or how many times, but I feel like you and I have looked at it quite a few times.
he's got the official oil dry at the National Farm Machinery Show. Spill Wrangler.
Spill Wrangler. It's right here, actually.
Spill Wrangler.
Well,
Yep, look at we even put on Defender for him.
all right, you got a product plug. Tell us about it. Tell us what it is.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you had it. You know, my son and I.
Imagine that's right there.
You gotta have it.
Give us an infomercial. Give us your best 60 seconds, like you're on
Billy
Shark
Mays without the heart attack.
Yes.
Spill Wrangler, organic, no silica, no clay, all American made and all plant grown absorbent. And
Okay.
it's made in Hereford, Bloody, Texas, and
It's got microbials.
it's got microbials in it, so it eats all the carbon that is in it. 60 days, 60 degrees, you can throw it on your plants.
Okay.
Oh.
So how the hell did you come up with that?
Worked on a deal for about 3 or 4 years on some extrusion, which we do a lot of dairy cattle feed and extrusion. That's where we have a feed business, and we just started playing with it and was over at Wildman's shop, and we brought some stuff up there. We didn't have no floor dry. I said, let's throw this stuff down, and Travis goes, man, this stuff really works amazing. So we started playing with it a little bit more and started adding some, different cellulose to it and trying to cut the dust down and what have you. And now we've kind of got it figured out here the last 2 years, and it's working real good. And we had it over at thanks, Rob, sure, on the Farm Machinery Show. And we're pretty happy. If you're at Bowling Green, I'll have some out there. I'll throw in the trailers, and I did some up at Toma. I had some guy run around, throw it in people's trailers, and
If we have a duck covered in oil, can we get the oil off the duck with that? Is this basically the new Dawn dish soap?
Is it Don Dish soap?
We have only tried it on a chicken, not a duck.
Okay. How did it work on a chicken, gentlemen?
Really well.
Really well.
Okay.
Pulled the feathers right off of it.
That's good to know. It's good for cleaning your cock. That's good to know.
Yeah, built by pro stockers for pro stockers. What
Good for cleaning the cock.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty funny. That's a hell of a man. You just had that sitting right out there, ready to go. Like, bam!
Ready.
It was all planned.
It was ready.
Yeah,
Hey, look here. I got Pennzoil, I got Shell, I got all kinds of stuff around here. I'm doing the same thing, guys. It's okay.
Yeah,
You got a
absolutely.
lot
All
of
right.
shirts in the background. We only got one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
Chase says I'm putting out here to let everybody know that I have to brag about it. So
Yeah, I know.
Consider this is his first time with that backdrop. Ironically, because Esden won Chapel, I think he just wanted to show Esden he's got a long ways to go. But congratulations to you, Esden, on your one chance. So Bob, nice to meet you. Firstly, and can you give us some background, or maybe Robby, you can speak for it? Like, we all have a story. How did this madness get started? I guess.
Long time ago. Back when I was in my teens, county fair pulling and just going to the county fair, and it just one thing led to another, and pretty soon we had to make a tractor that we didn't have to put back in the field, and everything. We started breaking stuff, and I started fixing stuff, and the rest is history. It just we started fixing our own stuff and doing it for others, and everything kind of snowballed.
Yeah, I remember Bob back in, I'll just throw one in here. I remember Bob back in, early 80s, and down at Jefferson County Fair, no shirt on, looked like Lloyd Lukey.
He was my idol.
No shirt on, just the chicks were just attracted to Bob. I mean, he was just like a magnet.
magnet.
I can tell.
It's a pro soccer now, but take us through the lineage of what classes the Lemke team has ran. Assume all diesel, but is anything but prior to the pro stock?
Oh, we were like a modified farm back in like mid to late 80s, and then like
When your dad
88.
started off, back when your dad used to not wear a shirt?
Well, that was like a farm
That was his
tractor.
farm pulling,
Yeah.
pulling.
All right.
No, we didn't. We built the first pro in like 88 or 89. That's when we were running what they called modified farm with the Midwest dirt flingers, and we won. But I think we won the 9 and 11, and then we got second at 75 Super. We pulled 5 classes a night. But then we thought we better do something and grow up a little bit, so we turned her into a pro stock.
It's
So what-
changed since then.
What year was the first pro stock built from your team?
What was that?
What year was your first pro stock campaign?
88 or 89.
88, 89. We joined the NTPA in 94. That was the first year we joined the NTPA.
94 was kind of our coming out year. We went to Louisville and Toma in 94. We kind of did it. And we went to Bowling Green, I think, the first time in 94, too.
And we're going to be there again.
Yeah.
How does
Was it always the new generation plus, or was there any reiterations of that?
Yep, that was pretty much it. The new generation was like the 4010s. That's how they called it.
And she was just a little bit more, so we called it plus.
Gotcha.
How does Bowling Green compare nowadays compared to 1994 when you guys first went?
It was busy like it is now. A lot more crazy stuff happening back then, almost more than now. You know what I mean?
See, that's what I hear. Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen there from all of the years combined?
I don't even want to tell you.
Okay. Give us the craziest thing you'll tell us.
Be like Schultz. I can.
There was a person that actually threw a beer can, hit a cop in the head, and the lady pointed a gun at my dad, and we didn't even have any beer at the time.
Oh, you just threw it.
Pointed a gun.
Well, there was a big fight down by all the chairs. It was crazy. And some guy threw a beer can, hit her in the head. It opened up, and she like pulled her gun out and pointed it at him, and he goes, I don't even got a beer.
During the afternoon session, we didn't have any.
Well, I've never seen anything that crazy there, so that takes the cake for sure. Usually everything's very reserved and calm, so you must have been hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure wouldn't throw a whole can of beer at anybody.
No, that's an absolute party foul. Empties only.
Yeah.
Empties only.
We didn't have enough to share anyway to have to throw it at people.
So with you guys having a dyno right there in your shop, obviously dynos means finding that edge, pushing things to the edge, and it also unfortunately means some carnage. I feel like those two things go hand in hand. What's the worst bit of carnage you've ever had on the dyno, and was it your stuff or someone else's?
It's been mostly our stuff. We do a lot of testing. You know, that's kind of what we do is try to make our bike better all the time, and we messed up a lot of stuff. I mean, you start back in the years with Weimers, that we helped them start building them turbos. You know what I mean? They gave me some turbos back in probably 2012. And we were testing for 2 years before we even put that on the track. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like the one year Toma big, we had one of their turbos on. We won by like 40 feet.
Wow.
And Carlton Cope was pulling, and I said, he'll know what I'm doing, so I didn't even run it much. You know what I mean? It just was like.
Did that hurt some feelings? When you win by that big of a margin, does that hurt some feelings? Some people wonder what you're doing different?
Yeah.
I did that night.
Yeah, that was, you know.
So
it was just passage, you know.
Basically, what happened last Saturday at Rockwell, you won by 35 feet, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just know at 150 feet when it hooks like that. I mean, Adam, you had it at Chapel Hill. You just, you know what I mean?
Have you ever had a setup so dialed that you knew it was so far ahead of everybody else's that you really didn't even push it to its full capability? You were like, let's back this thing off 20 feet. We can still handle them. And when we need to give it more, that's when we'll give it more.
I mean, like when I started working with Jim and Steve there at Weimers, I mean, we had stuff sitting there that was way better than what we were running. And, you know, it was just like too much, too fast. You know what I mean?
You just didn't need it. There's no reason for it.
No, and it was hard to hook up. And
Well, you know, there's some of that stuff going on in the mini rod class right now. It's like guys like Ken Vinny will run a good set of tires at the events he wants to do good at. If he thinks the track's going to tear the tires up, he takes the tires off and he'll run something else, and then he waits to put the good tires back on. So when he was smoking us last week at Fort Recovery, he said, "Oh, I took the tires off, didn't want to tear them up," and it shows. Kind of backed her up a little bit, but
it's just
part of it.
You only got so many bullets to use, and you know what I mean. You just can't use them all at one time.
Yeah, I'm always really curious to know. I tried to get, and this isn't an open door to, like, you know, talk bad about people or anything, but I always want to know, what is the most common failure on these diesels, the Pro Stocks? Is it turbos? Is it the pumps? Is it water? I mean, why do these things eat parts at certain points in time? What is it that fails a lot?
Well, I mean, a lot of it just a pure power. It's all cylinder pressure. You guys are all spark plugs, and you know we use the compression to fire, and it's like a bomb. You know what I mean? And the more air you push at it, the more power it makes, and you know it's a balance to get them to stay running. You know what I mean? I mean, now
Right.
we made blocks and things like that. They're durable.
So you guys want heat to drive the turbo, but too much heat will destroy the turbo, correct?
Yep, and I mean the turbos are pretty durable. Honestly, they've been very good. I mean, you go back, whatever, 10 years ago with Columbus. I mean, you needed 5 of them to get through the year. You know, now you know, they may need to get fixed during the summer, but usually they run 30, 40 hooks easy. Sure. Even more than that if you don't push them. You know, it depends on where your intake air and how bad you want to win. You know.
Right.
That class, everybody knows, has just continued to step up year after year as far as how much power they can truly make. From where you guys were at 5 years ago, the gains that the whole class collectively has made together, do you think that will continue linear, and 5 years from now you'll be that much further ahead, or has this started to taper off?
I think the technology is there to keep going. I don't think it needs to personally go that way anymore. I think we got to back it down a little bit just to keep. I think you're going to lose some people. You know what I mean? It just.
Well, now come on. You can't go out there and smoke everyone by 20 feet and be like, I think everybody ought to back it down a little bit. I don't know.
Well, it's not about me. It's about the whole class. You know, there's a lot of people that just, the money's gotten out of hand and the maintenance is stupid. And, you know, there's a lot of big money teams out there that want to spend money and work at it. But
not everybody can.
End of the day, you need everybody there to make the class good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's for sure true. Is there one thing as a person being in that class where it was like, if they would write this one rule that would all hold us to the same level of competition and it wouldn't cost everybody quite so much? Like, should there be a rule change? Because everybody talks about how much the pro stock class takes to run financially. Is there one rule you could theoretically spin up where if you were in charge, it would bring everybody's spending down, the show would still be the same, and the level of competition would still share nice parity throughout?
Yeah, I think like probably a box turbo, you know, something to drop it back about 500-600 horse, and then the V8s could be competitive again, and just it would probably knock a lot of the money out of it. You know what I mean?
So you say a box turbo. Tell us what you mean by that.
Well, like I'm kind of prejudiced. I would say I'd have Weimers make like a 6 1/4 turbo that was like durable and healthy. You know, that would run 80 hooks and take, you know, 500-600 horsepower away, and it would probably be more even for everybody. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So how would you police that? Like the tweaking?
They do it like now in the 5.0 class pro stock. They do that now, but I don't know how you do it. You know what I mean? That's always, everybody wants to push the envelope and things like that, but I'm not sure how you would do it. The NCPA tech official would have to handle that.
Yeah, that's Marvin's problem, is what you're saying.
It's pretty funny.
That's what I heard. All right, Adam. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, you weren't interrupting me. I was just curious. You know, we can talk about the pulling stuff a little bit. I'm all about the backstories of things that happen behind the scenes at the pulls that we don't get to see. I think there was you were parked pretty close to us this year at Toma, I do believe, and you guys were hooping and hollering pretty early there in the evening. It didn't seem like on Friday night that there was any chance at all anybody was going to be pulling on Saturday. So I think we all took that to our advantage and maybe did some sport drinking until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I see you guys have a little infatuation with road cones. Can you maybe tell us about that?
We had no comment. We had a younger kid.
Comment.
We taught him something, or kind of. It was a bad deal. We shouldn't have
It
did
was
it.
a bad deal. Bad deal. Okay. We don't have to go there if you don't want to go there. That's usually what we call the chase button on this show.
I sensed a bit of an explanation there coming.
Well, I think he got inspired by your group down below in the valley. And everybody up on the hill there, so to speak.
In my defense, I was in bed by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So
yeah, okay.
I think we all were that night.
I think I was in bed at 9. Can we get a full play-by-play? Because I don't know anything you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there.
He's like Schultz. I hear nothing, I see nothing. You know.
Well, they had to hear something because that speaker was pretty loud, I think, for the most of the evening.
That is amazing. I would like to find out whose speaker that
was
was.
not
And
our
It's mine.
well,
That is mine.
That thing is amazing. We have got to figure out. Text us what the brand
We
and that
can.
is. That is an amazing speaker.
I think
This is not an ad read. It's an Electro Voice EV. It's a 30M. It's so good that last year at Bowling Green, CJ Grozik decided to come to my trailer and take the speaker from my trailer.
Yeah, we did.
They put it on a trailer with a generator, went through the campground. I come back to the trailer, my speaker's gone. Luckily, I have 2 of them, so I wasn't too worried. But I went on this mad dash at about 3:30 in the morning looking for this speaker because it's a little bit expensive.
I'm pretty sure we brought it back around 4 a.m.
Yeah, when I came back, there might have been some damaged speaker that was there, but so CJ, I get the speaker, whatever. I was a little upset, and CJ comes over there. He's hit me on the back. He's like, "Brother, man, I'm gonna buy you another speaker." I was like, "Hey, man, it's no big deal." I said, "I tell you what, just we'll get the stuff to fix this one, and that's all. We're good." No, I'm gonna get you. My wife says I'm gonna buy you a brand new one. So he gets the speaker. He brings it to me at Wasion. He's like, "Man, I'm really sorry." Again, I was like, "No, it's no big deal." About a month later, he texts me and he says, "I'm not sorry anymore." I said, "What do you mean you're not sorry anymore?" He's like, "I should have bought one of these damn things a long time ago. This is the best thing I've ever heard." But they do have crystal clear sound.
yeah.
Man, it's
And
amazing. We're thinking about putting a band together, like in the back of the trailer at night, and we've got a couple drummers and one bass player, and none of us can sing, but I think.
Well, I didn't mean to show you guys up because you guys did bring the radio out, and I heard it, and I thought, I hear some scratchiness over here. Let's wake up the party a little bit. So I got my speaker out, but that night ended up being very bad for everybody, just for the simple fact that nobody thought we were going to pull on Saturday, and we drank like it.
Yeah.
And sure shooting, they had to pull at noon. Yeah. I may have woke up at 10, but we were pulling at noon.
Moral of the story is that whatever fancy speaker this is, when it comes out, road cones grow wings, is what I hear.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
That was a bad deal.
No comments needed.
No comment.
So explain to us, because I'm curious myself, Robby, you and Esden alternate driving. Like, how do you decide who drives, when you drive? And I think you all just kind of go pull wherever you want to go. So tell us your strategy or how it works, who's driving where and whatnot. Because when Esden won that night in Chapel Hill, I believe you were not there.
No, I had Toma, and then last week was the only polls I went to. Other than I went to Farley, obviously, but otherwise I've been staying home working, and he goes. And I told him on Saturday night, I said, "You drive." No, you drive. Just kind of BS, and I'm kind of glad I drove now.
Well,
that's good, and I hate to bring it up because I think a couple years ago, I think you guys may have been robbed a little bit. Laid down a killer pass there at Rockwell, and they reset the sled. It was last year. I was sitting up in the stands. You guys made an absolute phenomenal pass.
Same pass.
Yeah.
And some of your crew came over and helped us cool down, and
Yep. They were very ecstatic to get over there and help. But, I hate it when that happens. So maybe, I know this isn't throwing people under the bus, like I said, but, you look at situations like that. Tim Kaine, for instance, here, he made a killer pass and they reset on him and he broke the tractor, Can you kind of go through what it means to put 2 passes on a pro stock in one night?
It's tough on them. I mean, we always want to go back to that, honestly, just for maybe they'll back them down a little bit and be more durable. But they're just like now with the steel billet blocks, and there's no water area to like blow leaf blower. I mean, it's just a big chunk of steel. You know what I mean?
It's hard to do it the way they
It's hard to cool down. I got an oil cooler on it, and that works well. But it's not the same,
And then at times there aren't a lot of tractors in the class, not because, they're not showing up, but, you might only have 12 to 15 tractors. And for something that heat soaks like they do, you can't get the heat out of them.
No, honestly, they get hotter when you're done. Like when we dyno and stuff. I mean,
they sit and soak it in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, like we've said before, it's hard to set the sled. We all enjoy those 380, 400-foot passes when we got to make it, but we understand that they, you hate to be on, like, I made a really good run last year. I went 340 feet. I thought I made a really good run, and they reset the sled because I've been sucking for the past 5 years. So it's kind of like part of it,
That's how we are. Yeah.
Would you prefer to see a winner at 300 foot even each time or 400 foot?
Tough question.
That's a tough one. I mean, it depends on the track and how fast you're going. I mean, if it's a long, crappy track.
What if it's the same duration?
It's a long ways.
Yeah. I mean, like last week, you hit 36 or 7 miles an hour. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
What
do you think, John?
300 feet's a long ways.
What do you think, John?
Two times last year in PPL, I went ahead. I was lucky enough to be first puller twice. I think I can't remember who turned on, maybe or Henry or something. And I had 301. Knowing that I was not going to win the class, I said, you know what? I'm going off. I'm taking the hook. Driver on the trailer. Got the rest of the season to worry about. And if I would have maybe not did those 2 times like that, you would have had maybe some carnage there. And I'm on my 3rd year with Robby Lemke engine in that Red International, and we're not probably right at the top of our game. We've learned a lot. A lot of our deal's been tires. We just kind of getting this figured out. And I don't have any enthusiasm coming back again and wrecking some rod bearings or mains over one more pass. It's like
right. Yeah, I think it's so hard. I mean, coming from where the sport has been, it's always been known for a pull-off, and we've kind of ventured away from that. And we all got excited when we see these floating finish lines, and everybody would kind of relax a little bit. But now sometimes the sled settings, you might go 3, 4, 5 tractors into the class before, oh shit, we got to reset this thing, and then it's like you're having a pull-off.
Right.
So is there any difference? I don't know. It's super hard to judge. Like I said, we're not hounding them or anything about that, but it sucks when you lay down a killer pass like you guys did last year and you got to kind of get it taken from you.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even saying that.
Even Badger State, I think they've been really working hard this year. I pulled a couple Badger State just because I've been up here a little bit with our business and whatever, and they've been really working hard of keeping. It's like a year ago, like the first pass guy usually won quite a bit, and then prepping the track, making sure it gets packed really good in between the next pullers, and they've really, Greg Delsing's worked really, really hard to try to level that playing field this year for us. And not all these tracks are great, but there's tracks out there you guys all been pulling on that are not great.
Like the Badger State, and what they do now, if you're first hook and they reweight it, you don't have to come back and you automatically get 4th place, money and points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
if we got enough tractors, you know what I mean? If you get that track where they'll set a full pull mark at, say, if 340, yeah. And the guy, if I'm the first hook, I go 351. Well, we're going to reweight it. Well, you automatically have fourth place points and money.
You don't have to come back and.
So, I mean, at least it's like, yeah, the sled guy missed it, but you're not penalized totally. You know what I mean?
Right. Where like a guy like Tim Kaine makes a good run and breaks and cannot make it back. You're last. You got last.
At least you got a little bit of bragging rights. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. No, he laid down a hell of a pass. I mean, it's almost like anymore with pullers. I hate to say it this way, but you go out there and you make a good pass. As long as you like take the lead when you run, you feel like you've done something, or you make a really good pass and they reset the sled. They can't take that from you.
That's right.
Last week, Saturday, I thought the same thing. I told them, I said, shit, they're going to reweight it. Yeah, I already know it, you know.
Right.
But they didn't. I was surprised.
You know, Friday night they reweighted it, and every time they reweighted it, they went further. It was really kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That track was good, and I mean, the dirt's different for that sled, and I mean, they just had a hard time stopping them, you know. And the tires so much, you know. You all know that. I mean, with your class especially, you know.
Right. Yeah.
You guys as mini rods, I mean, you're as much horsepower as you're making with those things. Not that I ever want to drive something with a drive shaft running through my my scrotum area. I just, you guys, how in the heck are you keeping them things locked in?
Well, we don't always. I mean, sometimes they become unlocked from the track, which is Don Slama spoke earlier about a potential to have a pallet of beer to the wildest mini rod wreck, and you can really see it with the turbo tractor.
His name's GD Slama, not Don Slama.
Yeah. You can really see it with that turbocharged tractor that's been out running this year. Mr. Mike Evans, props to him for trying it because he's probably got more power than any of us. But man, when that thing lights, he can't keep that sucker down. And I mean, it just goes hog wild and it's badass. And when he gets it figured out, everybody's going to be crying when he's putting 30 foot on him. And I can't wait to watch that happen for him. But yeah, it's a strange balance of horsepower and tire for sure. Which we can't have pullers on in 2024 and not bring up the topic of tires as far as different tires coming out. You guys spoke on the Mitoses earlier. Obviously, a better tire comes out like the Mitos. Everybody just gets it. What are your guys' opinions on letting new manufacturers in? Does it help the sport? Does everybody just have to buy them and you're at the same spot you were? Give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think, honestly, we're better off with dealing with Firestone, to be honest with you.
There
was no choices, you know what I mean? And, I mean, I understand everybody wants things better. We're always trying to be better and innovate. I mean, we do it in what we make every day, but there's certain things that probably should be capped, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just a money spending thing. You get back to where we were, we're all in the same spot, you know what I mean?
Last year we had 4 sets of tires.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's got 3 or 4 sets of tires that, you just give them, you donate them because these 14 plies, no one can use them for nothing else except for maybe a pro stock. And
any of you guys got younger kids? I got big sandbox tires, 24.5s. You can fill them up with sand. They can play.
They're amazing.
See, we have mini rods, so we have that many tires because we have to. Now, if they had 2 different brands, we just have double the amount off of that.
Yeah.
If we had the different tires.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we got one guy in our class that's obsessed with old tires, and he built a 3-level tire rack in his shop, and he literally has like 25 or 30, not tires, but sets of mini rod tires just lined up on a shelf, just rows and rows of them.
Kind of like Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like Walmart. Makes good sense.
So, in terms of your business, Robby, tell us a little about Lemke Performance. It's Lemke Performance, right? Is that?
Yeah, Lemke. I got 2 entities. We got Lemke DJNR and Lemke Motorsports.
Motorsports. So you obviously serve a lot of the diesel pulling community. How many customers do you have out there? What classes are they? And if you want to shout out a couple, feel free. But tell the fans there what exactly you do beyond being a competitor.
Yeah, we make our own like steel billet blocks and cylinder heads that we made jeepers, probably 350 cylinder heads already, steel or cast iron ones. And I don't know, we got probably 75, 80 customers competing all the time. And it's getting to be a little too much maybe, but no, it's good. I enjoy it. I love tractor pulling, and you know, we started with not much, and I'm very appreciative of where we are. You know,
What classes does that cover as a whole for someone like me that doesn't know?
like from hot farm to diesel supers. Honestly, I used to love the diesel supers, but now I don't like them as much because they break all the time and they're a son of a bitch to work on. So I used to think that was the neatest class ever, but now I was like, oh, I don't like it. But
Yeah.
so we do a ton of 4-1 super farm.
Light pros.
Light pros, yeah. I mean, we got a ton of light pros in the country. Like them Fords that run all the time, the Smith boys, and all them guys. They're all our motors, and they do a good job with them.
And a lot of red motors.
Yep.
You build a heck of a lot of red motors.
I was going to ask that question. So, John, if I'm not mistaken, you pull red, right?
Yep.
Obviously, why you brought it up. No offense taken, I hope, on your end, but you work on more than just green equipment. You do red stuff as well.
Red, blue. We don't. It don't.
Alice, we worked on them all.
Yeah,
We do a lot of case stuff. I recasted case heads and Massey Ferguson's, like Carlton Cope skillet heads, and then Big Sexy, the light pro, that's got our recast heads on it.
Very nice. At what point was it in your guys' life, like what year, where this transitioned from a hobby into more of a career that supported the hobby?
It was like almost in the 05, 06.
Yeah, 05, 06. Probably 05. I bought the business I worked at. Otherwise, me and my dad, we both worked in town, and then we both worked at night at his shop building stuff. And then I ended up buying the business I worked at. And that's kind of where, like 07, 08 is when we built our new building and started progressing, you know.
I quit my job in 06 and come and work here and been here ever since.
Yeah.
But you guys also build like John Deere combine parts too, or
Yeah, we do a lot of everyday production. I mean, we do almost probably 500,000-600,000 parts a year just of production parts.
Tell us about the various production parts.
A lot of it's for a place local. They do handicap accessible, like stair lift product, like Acorn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Bruno Independent Living. We do just a ton of product for them, and Waukesha Engine, GE Medical. I mean, we do farmer stuff too. I mean, they come in, we fix a shit spreader. It don't matter, but
Yeah, that's probably where the real money is.
oh, totally. I mean, that's
Shitty job. Somebody's got to do it.
That's when you're banking it for sure.
we try. You know, a lot of them. I do it because I like the person. But, I mean, a lot of them, you guys know, it just you don't make no money, or it is no.
Rob's got a big heart. That's his problem. He's got such a big heart. He wants to help everybody, and I mean, that's why I stay in the camp, because of that. It's hard to go places, and you know, and I don't have a lot of friends. So when these guys keep me around, it's like, man.
Did you win their friendship over by bringing them some oil dry tonight?
Yeah.
Here, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Say that again. I didn't hear it. What was that?
What's the name of that oil dry, Chase?
Yeah. Where are you all pulling the next? I'm sure you'll be at Bowling Green next weekend. Are you all going to Hillsboro? Or I think it's cool that you guys just kind of go wherever you want. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, last year we went to Hillsboro. This year we're taking off, and I'm actually going to go up north, UTV-ing with John Coots and his wife and my wife, and have a couple cocktails and chillax this week. So,
Will there be any road cones there?
hopefully not. I hope not.
It is construction season. You never know what you're going to run into.
It's construction season in every state, especially Indiana. I think 465 takes the cake in Indiana.
Yeah.
You're right. They're all over the place. I wish I owned a company with them.
Yeah.
That made them. Shit, we'd be sitting on a beach right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
The plastic extrusion plant, and that's right.
All right. Speaking of the road cones again, you guys happen to be pranksters. I don't know this or not. If you are pranksters, what is something that you've done at a pull to another puller that you just you had to pat yourself on the back about that was a good joke or that was a good prank. You guys do that stuff much?
I mean, Kevin Schmucker, we kind of screwed with him one time. I
threw about
I bet
95
Canton-
beer cans on top of his trailer a couple years ago.
Man, I wonder who's been throwing the road cones.
I didn't throw any road cones.
No, that
Okay.
That was a younger kid. He learned too quick, too fast.
Right.
No more road cone jokes. We'll hit the Adam button.
So you're basically saying schmuckers are driving down the road and there's beer cans blowing off their trailer all over.
Yeah, Kevin,
Yeah.
it was quite impressive, actually.
Quite impressive.
That's
And
funny.
I think he had a couple rolls of those box of towels up there, if I remember.
They threw all sorts of shit up there.
That Canton, it got a little crazy.
I mean, but they actually they were coaching us on pretty bad.
Danny and Kevin,
they're horrible guys. They get you so involved, and
Yeah.
they almost want you to jump on the trailer. and I said, no, we're better than that.
Yeah.
So what's the best somebody's gotten you guys if you guys are kind of poking the bear out at polls on people?
I don't really know.
I can't think
We
of it.
kind of like get along with it. It really don't bother us too much. A lot of people screw with us. I mean,
Well,
when
yeah,
you're at Bowling Green, we woke up in the morning and our gator was gone. And all of a sudden the blue shirts come back. He goes, your gator's out in a campground. I went, oh shit, that's where it is. It was out of gas. Key was gone. I had to go to a John Deere dealership to get a new key.
well, one of the scariest ones was 2 years ago, Bowling Green. I dropped a set of I dropped a set of tires off.
Yeah, he took a set of tires for Wildman's for Nichols to cut. And I call him. I said, where'd you put them tires?
And it was raining like a mother, and I rolled them
He
up
goes,
on
I
the
rolled
infield.
them up next to the chain link fence. I said, you tell anybody? He goes, no. I went, well, shit, we're damn near to Chicago. And Bob Nichols called me. He goes, where's some tires at? Oh, shit.
So, luckily, one of the guys there at the pole,
The blue shirts, they actually took them underneath the grandstand. And thank God.
that was I was sweating the whole. I was like, man, there's another 20
If it had been
grand.
his tires, it wouldn't have been a problem. It was somebody else's, you know?
Pulling a prank on yourself.
I was told to ask something about carnival animals at Brandenburg, Kentucky. Can anyone comment on that? On this?
Carney?
Oh, yeah. That was a good time, too. Yep. There was a Carney guy whipping shitties with a forklift one night. And I don't know who was all there. Actually, God, I can't even remember who was all there. A bunch of two-wheel drive guys. But anyway. they stole
No way.
some-
There wasn't a lot of two-wheel drives at Brandenburg. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 38 of them. There was 38. That's why I can't even remember who was there. But I don't want to take everybody's name out or put it out there. But anyway, we got some Carney pissed off, and we stole some animals and put them in trailers. The cops came, and it was all good. End result, it was a good.
Hang on a second. Is this like the movie Hangover? Like someone woke up with a lion in their trailer, or
Yeah, I was next to Mike Tyson. Imagine that.
That was the goat
I said,
that
I'm going to bed.
wasn't it the goat that made him drink a whole bottle of Dr. McGillicuddy's and left him in the bar?
so you took animals from the carnival and put them in people's trailers, like pulling trailers, or somewhere else? You can't just stop right there.
Well, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but
Theoretically.
one of your friends on TV, his sister was helping. So actually, we sent your brother-in-law a picture of her in the cop car, and he was up in Michigan somewhere pulling. He goes, "Oh shit, what the hell happened?"
Oh, hey, that reminds me.
That's where that picture was with me in the cop car.
Well, what about when I in Hillsborough when I was
Oh, that
then
wasn't
downtown?
funny. Yeah.
And I had to, I said, I need to get back to, Don does a great job because the cops up at Hillsborough are amazing.
They're like Lyft drivers.
Yeah. Convenience store, I'm like, hey, you go right back to the pool. None of these guys want to leave, and I need to get some sleep. And I was looking at her and talking about cones getting burnt and stuff. I was coming down in the hill with the cop, and I was like, hey, he goes, where do you want to go? And I'm like, you see where that fire is? And the clouds were pushing over that smoke down and it was billowing and it just going straight up. I'm like, you take me over there to that fire. That's where I need to get dropped off. So I get down there pretty close, and Pat Hack goes, hey, your cronies down there are burning stuff, and we need to probably take get that under control. And so I told this cop, I says, when you get up there, we're going to do like a Barney 5. And I'm like, you turn the lights on and start hollering in the loudspeaker, and so we get up there and I go, hey, you guys, on the loudspeaker, and he had the siren going and the lights, and Coots and Robster and I think Trip was down there. They were like this tall, and they were below the bleachers underneath the those tables.
We ran out of firewood is the subject, and we burned all the traffic signs.
Oh,
and a lot of more plastic.
That was a good prank. That was a good prank, though. You guys were like scared.
Yeah, we scared shitless.
Yeah, that was amazing. I was hard, but then the next 20 minutes, the guys were trying to drag me out of the cop car, and I wouldn't let go. And
What'd the cop say?
the cop was amazing. He had a good sense of humor. I'm telling you.
That's
All
amazing.
good stories start with that cop had a great sense of humor. So shout out to you, John Link. That's awesome.
He's just another blessed child in God's loving family.
That's right.
Well done.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely.
I got to get more information on this live animal and trailers. I can see that we probably don't want to get too much information, but Robbie, I will corner you, and I want to hear the whole story. So one of these
It was
days.
pretty funny. I just don't want to get anybody in trouble. It was a nice, exciting night. Let's put it that way. Brandon Phillips goes, "What are you guys doing? The cops are coming."
You'll have that.
You have that. Hey, Tyler, can you hit him with a little bit of your rapid fire questions, please, sir?
All right, gentlemen. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this portion of the show, but basically I have 12 rapid fire questions, and we just peel right through them. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to elaborate on it. It doesn't have to be the right answer either. It just has to be a quick answer. But we have 4 of you this evening. So do we want to just select one person that has to endure all of these?
Well,
All right.
we'll just random. How's that? We're all pretty slow here.
If you want to chime in, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Disclosure: this segment of our show has led to ass whooping threats. So let's
No.
it's a winning game. So to just keep it real.
Just for everybody that is listening out there in internet land, we do not vet these questions. We have no idea what he's saying. Do not hold it against us.
And we don't get in a fight with nobody.
All right. Oh, wait. We got to wait for this gentleman to restock his beer, perhaps. Is that what's going on here? Yep. Grab you another cold one. All right, here we go. Who would do a quicker job replacing a headlight in one of your pickup trucks, Brandon Simon or Brent Meyer?
Brandon Simon.
What would you rather wake up with in your living room, a 10-foot anaconda or a raging bull?
Raging bull.
What are you into outside of tractor pulling that nobody would predict?
Dart ball. Dart ball.
Dart ball, I like it. If you didn't have to pay for it, what would your dream car be?
Lamborghini.
What year?
The newest.
What Krieger brother do you think would win in an arm wrestling contest? Jeremy Krieger or Miles Krieger?
Jeremy. Miles, totally.
Miles. He's got pipes, man. Miles has got pipes.
If you got paid $15,000 a day to live in the woods with no provisions, how many days are you going to last out there before calling it quits?
2 years.
2 years. I like it.
I'd say probably like half a day.
Yeah.
What would you rather encounter tomorrow? A non-lethal car accident or being swarmed by a dozen swans?
I got attacked by geese when I was a kid. I'll go.
That's scary shit. I'd take a car accident.
I agree. I'm in the same boat. How would you describe the color yellow to a blind person?
Amarillo. It's Espanol.
Okay. Smoked brisket or a grilled steak?
Grilled steak.
What is the first date you ever went on with your wife?
Oh, it was last week. It was really nice.
It was last week.
What is the quickest, easiest $1,000 you've ever made in your life?
Oh, when I was a male gigolo.
Very nice. What NTPA employee do you think would make the best downhill skier?
Marvin.
Yeah, I would agree. I can see that. Well done, gentlemen. There's nothing really to that segment, is there?
Very good.
All right,
Very good.
we got to know what dart ball is, though.
Yeah, what is dart ball?
It's underhand. I don't know.
You stand 20 feet
If
away.
you stand 20 feet away, you got a 4x4 board. It's like baseball. You drink alcoholic beverages mostly. John Link's got stabbed by 2 darts already here.
Right in my leg.
Bad news bears.
But it's fun. It's like baseball. There's 9
It's a
guys.
big sport in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's in Ohio too. It's big over by Bowling Green, actually.
Okay, so you got a 4 foot by 4 foot target, and you're holding darts, and you have to
Like a
stand
metal
behind the
clip.
line.
Like
Yeah,
that long.
underhand, 20
Underhand.
feet away. Yep.
What's the hold on the dart? Is it kind of lying in your 4 fingers with your
It's
thumb
like
there?
in your hand. Yep. You
It's
just
the wood.
it's a wood 3-feathered or 4-feathered dart. Yep.
And the
Okay.
dart's like 3 inches long.
Oh, hell, no, it's more like 6.
6 inches. long.
Okay, well, and
It's like lawn darts.
Oh, it's like 6 inches for sure.
what?
Yeah, I say 6.
Yeah, that's 6. John's not very good at math or.
So it's like baseball. How did this work? Is there certain parts of the board that you hit that get
Where
Where
different
there's
things?
first, second, and third base, home
Pop it
run.
up once.
I'll try to find a picture.
Wait a
We'll show
minute.
you.
So
But
there's
you got
basement?
first, second, third, and home, and then there's outs, balls, strikes. You get
Okay.
like any baseball. You get
Try to show
2
you a
fouls and a strike. You're out.
picture.
So what
So
I'm wondering,
everybody gets 3 darts.
There.
okay, that's the scoreboard right there.
There's a single, double, and triple, and home run.
That's
Okay.
what the board looks like.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were throwing the darts at people. So if you're all behind this line, how did
It depends if they're drinking or
At
not.
Lemke
Say,
Motorsports.
how the hell does John Link get hit with darts when there's a board out there?
twice?
Well, we
Twice.
aimed.
They love me.
Well, in
We
our defense, the first time he threw at my cousin, which is the guy that runs our cylinder head parting machine,
Boo boo.
the best guy I got, and he damn near killed him
Oh,
because he thought it was funny.
They were drinking, of course.
And then this year, Troy Schradel,
Our engine builder.
yeah, he helps build engines here. Stabbed John in the leg, and then
Well, he wanted. It was like that. You know,
when
you
the
throw
night
a
was
dart up in the
over,
air, and
tell him the truth.
what?
We had a fire extinguisher go off in the shop.
Well, that was after because
20-pounder. He was leaving. He was mad.
no shit.
Oh, damn it.
The full thing?
The whole thing. Well,
There's a
Okay.
little bit left.
there was 1/5 left.
Then he got blasted.
So
Well-
I also have a pretty good fire extinguisher story that I've never really told anybody. We host a Friendsgiving every year where we get like 30, 40 friends together. Everybody brings food and we have a Thanksgiving with friends. Friendsgiving, right?
Yeah.
I was getting into the beers a little stiff that night, and I had a big ass 20-pound fire extinguisher too. And I've used these things multiple times. And so what I went to do was just a little bit, like just a little, which kind of makes a mess, but it's not that bad, you know? The son of a bitch latched full on. So
what
there I
happened.
am in the living room, and there's 20 people there, and I sprint for the door, but I got to run through the damn kitchen to get there. So long story short, this is a house I was renting from my father. And with all of our friends there, with all this food everybody made, thankfully everybody had eaten already, but probably half of the food was left. And I emptied a whole damn fire extinguisher right in that house. So I have sympathy for those who accidentally discharge a fire extinguisher where they shouldn't. Yes, I feel your pain, sir. It happens.
It was an accident. He tripped and fell when he was leaving. He was waving.
I had that dart wound. Yeah, it was in my thigh.
He had a lot of blood loss.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about those fire extinguishers, they can sit there on the wall and they could be there for 5 years and somebody's still going to come and get them and say, hey, you owe us $3,500 to switch out all these fire extinguishers. You might as well have a little bit of fun with them. You know,
Exactly.
On a
wasted.
dyno, you use them more.
Yeah. Well, I asked you about your biggest explosion earlier, but you kind of skirted around it.
About the fire, we had two good fires. It melted the lights right off the ceiling of the dyno room.
Well, damn it, I want to hear about both of them.
Well, I had stop fire ones even too, and I ran out and I actually ripped the one right off the wall to kind of put her down. It scared the shit out of me, honestly. It was hot. Lights were gone, and
There was a couple of the walls frequently.
yeah, we watched the walls a couple times.
I'm sure that dyno room's connected to everything you love and own.
The
Burn
haulers
the damn
in here,
thing
the
down.
tractors in here. You're like, oh no. But
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
I remember I was working at Tim Engler's, and obviously with these sprint car injections that he makes, the intakes are made out of magnesium, and there's impurities in the metal. So as you're machining, you could throw a spark, and magnesium in dust form is like dynamite. Like it'll blow up. So anyways, in the back of the tractor shop back there, they got this little bitty room. It's like 4x8 if you're lucky. And they have this vacuum system in there, and they're polishing the runners to get any high spots or anything out to finish them. Well, the dust goes into the trash cans, and at the end of the night, a young high school student or whatever would take these trash cans and they dump them into the dumpster out in front to be emptied. So one day it's kind of cold.
Is this a long story?
No, it's not. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. So the Engler, there's a lot of shit in the shop there, and this guy starts grinding on this rear end. Everybody's getting pissed because there's dust and rust and everything out there. And he's like, take that shit outside. So this kid takes it outside, and he's right next to the dumpster, and he's grinding. And all of a sudden, a spark lands on there, and the trash can blows up. I mean, shooting 70 foot in the air flames. And they're running for the hills. Everybody's grabbing everything. These fire extinguishers used to put these fires out, they cost about $4,000 a piece. And this guy grabs these, and the flames are so big, the fire extinguisher's doing absolutely nothing. And the guy wasted about four or five fire extinguishers on it. It didn't even phase it. We're over there shoveling dirt and everything on it. And I just can't remember how pissed Tim was that they wasted that many fire extinguishers trying to put the fire out. And I'm like, dude, it almost burnt down your entire fucking building. Like, don't be mad that, you went through all these fire extinguishers. But, man, talk about crazy.
Adam, there's a reason why the military quit making magnesium airplanes. I mean, magnesium was super light in the early 40s. We had a magnesium chloride mine down in Texas that we did a lot of work on. That they pumped that stuff out of the ground, separated the chloride from the magnesium, and they made magnesium bars. But yeah, that stuff's like unbelievable.
I used to take the dust. I used to take the dust from the trash cans at work, and I'd put it in a little pail, and I'd bring it home, and I'd sprinkle it on the weeds and stuff in the back lot and light it. It incinerates weeds, just so you know that.
It's pretty cool at a bonfire too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's flame colors that you've never seen before, and you throw that shit on there.
So
that's funny.
Flame colors. You guys, should we invite? You should invite these guys for your 4th of July party. That you're talking about flames.
Yeah,
that was quite a show. They Robster puts on a 4th of July deal every year.
It's a good time,
and it's quite amazing.
We had Laney Wilson here this year as main entertainment. And a bunch
Tell us all about it.
How amazing!
Would you have a projector screen with her on it or something? I mean, what the hell are we talking about here?
It's live in person. I got to put a tent on, an 8x8 tent, and she comes in there. No, we have live music, but it ain't Laney Wilson.
So when do you? It's 4th of July party. So when does this take place?
4th of July.
Chase, on the 3rd week in August. What the fuck do you think it is?
No,
my wife's birthday. Yeah. Next year's going to be a big one.
Well,
so
50th.
I flew up special for this one this year because I missed a couple of them, and then they just talk about how much fun they had over there, and I'm like, you guys, you can't be doing that without me. It's not selling. So
well, I feel like you guys got to have some stories from the 4th of July parties.
Well, we've had a lot of them. I don't remember a lot of them.
They're all G, so they're all G.
Yeah. We could even handle some PGs. It's okay. We're adults here.
Yeah. Early on, we had cops and shit, but now that's just like a everyday. It's like Sunday around here.
Well,
the cops just know we
do a good job. Sheriff lives just down the road.
Well, it's like when you guys fire up the dyno, the whole town of Helenville knows that Robster is going to be doing. There's guys coming out of the bar across the street over here looking at the smoke going in the air. I mean, the fire department in Jefferson knows not to come out here anymore. And
First time I got the dyno, the fire chief came down. Oh, thought you were on fire. I said, no, I just bought a dyno. Oh, great. we're in like a town, honestly. It's a little town. But
I looked up your guys' address and I see that there is a bar like straight across the street, right outside your driveway, Winging It, correct?
Winging It, yeah, they got good chicken wings, man.
How much time do you guys spend there? How many hours a week?
It's been better.
No, we
Not
don't.
much.
We usually sit in the shop and drink.
Yeah.
Beer's cheaper over there, right?
I was.
Well, they got good lunch though. When we go over there once in a while and eat some lunch once in a while.
We've had some puppies over there, not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, so funny story. I was trying to do some journalist sleuthery, and I actually called the bar before you guys came on like 4 hours ago, and I wanted to ask them if they had like a good Robby Lemke story that they could tell me, so I could kind of catch you off guard with it. And so I called them up, and they said, "Hi, this is Winging It," and I said, "Hi, I hate to take your time, but I was curious if you know who Robby Lemke is," and she says, "No, I don't. Sorry. He's actually not here right now. Thank you." And she hung up, and I'm like, now, wait a damn minute. You can't say you don't know who the man is and then tell me that he's not there at the same time.
Esden used to work there a couple of days, didn't you?
A couple times I bartended over there, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. No, I don't know who he is, and he's not here right now.
Dinner there, but yeah.
They fired Esden over there because it was like on Thursday nights, it was one of their busier nights, and Esden only had like $25 left in the till, and he's really good bartender. He just sucks at collecting money. So
those are good bartenders where they don't charge for drinks.
Bartenders.
I still make pay.
Speaking of it, and this is probably a little bit of a personal question, but I'm in my mid-30s. I've met two people in my life with the name Esden. One's Esden Lane, and now Esden Lemke. Yep. Robby, was he named after Esden Lane?
Yes, he was.
He was.
No shit.
Yeah.
So I always wondered that because again, in Kentucky, which people in Kentucky don't think like normal people probably, but
they have people named like Merle, like Chase's grandpa.
Yeah, like Esden's like a name of like a cult here, not a name of a person. So,
so tell us what Esden Lane means to you.
Oh, Esden, I grew up watching. I love tractor pulling. I mean, when I was probably 10 years old, I wanted to go fucking tractor pulling. You know what I mean? That's what drives me, honestly, to this day is tractor pulling. You know, and I watch him a lot in Wisconsin, and Kenny Mack used to say, backing up to the sled from Dayton, Minnesota. The red line fever. You know what I mean? It's just, you heard Kenny Mack at Toma. It's just, it's amazing.
History.
Kenny just not very far from us here.
Yeah,
Esden had one of the best quotes I've ever heard from any puller, and I remember this every time I get done pulling, and I think, man, you know, the track wasn't that good, or you know, whatever. You're always looking for an excuse. We were at Langford, New York, and he says, "Adam, there are no bad tracks, just bad setups." And it's like, duh, you know, this guy's been down the track numerous times. You just take what it gives you.
He told me too. He said, when you take first, when you pull, that's all the best you can do. You know what I mean? You're there. You know, if somebody beats you, it beats you. You know,
right?
Robert, Esden Lane friends, or like, is he someone you talk to frequently?
Oh, yeah. We built a lot of his stuff. You know what I mean? Back in 14 or 15, he had one of our cylinder heads on and stuff like that. And
he came to Esden's wedding.
He did come to my wedding. Yeah.
Esden got married last year, and
he's a personal friend.
Yep.
How curled did he have that cup of Crown Royal at the end of the night? Did he ever pretty close?
Straighter than Grizzly Bear's dick. He was great all week.
No, is there any truth to the rumor in the pulling world that a long time ago Esden Lane or somebody in his family had something to do with coming up with the Lifesaver candy, or no?
Never heard that. I don't know.
Okay. I had heard that rumor was floating around, but he really didn't like people knowing about it. So I was curious if we could shed some light on that.
Never heard it.
Never heard.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I live a pretty sheltered life.
Yeah. I can tell.
Yeah.
We're getting to the 2 hour mark. This has been a fun show. You guys are awesome. Could take this on for another hour or two, but I know we got some winding down questions we always ask all our guests. I know Adam and Tyler have them. Mine specifically, and that comes to mind. So the pro stock class is probably arguably the most fastest growing class. I would argue the mini rod class is right there with it. But do you see a day that this ever levels off? You kind of alluded to it earlier, but at some point, I think that like it's so out of control. People are spending a lot of money. Like, do you ever see a day where it ever is neutralized, or just like the Wild West? Because that class is like the Wild West to me in pulling.
No, I think it's done it multiple times. It kind of gets really good, and a lot of people fall out. And, I mean, look at Boyd's years ago, and there's a lot of tractor pullers in our class, and some of them go and
do you think it ran out some like the old names that when it kind of got out of control here as the last couple of years?
I do. You know what I mean? You got like us and Tim are probably the longest
Grand National.
How many wins? Don't you have like 30 or this tractor's got like how many Grand National wins?
39.
39 Grand National. Kind of amazing.
That's a decent amount.
That's how many short of Joe Eder?
A lot.
He was
Joe
on the
Eder's
show last
called
week.
Grand
The guy
National.
keeps winning.
They're not
He's
all
got-
right.
Great.
9?
100 or 100?
We got 100 now.
102.
100 Grand National wins?
Yeah.
They're not.
So-
Are they all Grand National wins?
No, they're not. They're just wins, I think.
Oh,
Just
Oh,
Probably has 200 of those.
that ain't that.
So my question that I always has before Chase usually takes it is, if you were in charge of tractor pulling, if you were the president of whatever organization, you're the main guy. What is the one thing that you do to make the sport better?
Everybody a fair shot.
As he cracks his beer open for the drum roll.
You guys have done. I'll just throw a little bit while Rob's was thinking. I like what you guys have done. You kind of put us on a different level. How the guys up in Wisconsin used to do some Calcutta stuff, before the tractor pulls, which I think is very, very cool, for raising money for, like the children's hospitals and things like that nature. And obviously what you guys have done with the gambling deal, it puts us on a different level. We've got to keep up with the other motorsports that are out there. I mean, if this is going to continue to survive. So, I mean, kudos, guys.
Appreciate it. Hey, I'm just Chase asked me a long time ago if we'd ever want to do a podcast. We threw it together. The full pull stuff is their own entity. I enjoy doing it. It is a little bit every now and then to do it, but we really enjoy doing it because I think we're just trying to grow the sport. When it all boils down to it, you may not like what we say. We maybe hit on some sore subjects, maybe piss some people off on some stuff we're saying. I try to look at the sport as I'm a fan in the stands. That's all. And what I see, I try to put out there, but I think it's all for the betterment of the sport. So
You got to make it interesting.
I mean,
Sure.
we all
I mean-
do it, love it. And, we're all doing it. You know what I mean? We
Right.
want to make it better. And
So what do you do?
Passion. Sometimes the passion comes out the wrong way, but
you got to be
Right.
best for the sport, though. That's what people pick rules or make rules that better themselves, but they don't better.
You
the
gotta be
class,
there for
you know, or
everybody.
the sport,
Right. Need somebody out there that doesn't want to take the greed for the money of it. Can we not have something happen successful with somebody not wanting to take from what this thing is? It is a very good sport. At times, maybe it's a little bit slow. And let's face it, NFL, 25-second play clock, the thing's rolling. Every 25 seconds, something's going on. College football, every 40 seconds, something's going on. I think pulling maybe – it's a little bit slower at times, and maybe the attention span loses. But we're trying to figure out what that entertainment value is to make it where we keep people engaged, and it's something for them to talk about, something to bet on, whatever it is.
I think it's grown and gotten better. You know what I mean? Like Jason Schultz has done a ton for social media and promoting the sport. And,
Right.
he
Yeah.
just-
So what do you do? So what do you do to make it better, though?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, maybe some of these bigger venues, like the big pro stocks or even your guys' classes, you can't have them at everywhere. You know what I mean? Make it more 6 or 8 or 10, 12 events and make it, you know what I mean? You just can't go to the local county fair and watch Adam Kester kick everybody's butt. You know what I mean? It maybe should be done at Bowling Green and Toma and Chapel Hill. And we have too many polls probably to make it more elite. You know what I mean?
Well, you guys, as a pro stock class, a very fan favorite, obviously, right? Everybody loves pro stocks. How many polls a year if you're going to run an NTPA or a PPL circuit?
There's 20 something this year, but I
That's
mean,
ridiculous.
I mean, 12, 14 would be ideal.
I'd like to have about 5 hooks double night so that I don't have to fly it from Texas to Wisconsin all the time.
No, that's you double night, so that's 10 hooks, right? Five places. I don't think that's out of the realm. Maybe not. I've always said maybe not. You got to give these guys time off to work on their stuff. You can't be running them week after week after week. You know, maybe you pull 2 weeks, you're off 2 weeks, you pull another. Maybe you pull twice a month, 2 weeks apart.
You know, we go to Hutch or Toma, and you know, it's nice. You can actually work on your stuff, get everybody running, take a little time off. You know, it just like
still get to enjoy the holidays when they come through. You know, you have your big 4th of July party. You don't have to worry about going to I got to be whatever pool that is that weekend.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if Laney Wilson's going to be at your house,
shit,
Laney Wilson.
yeah,
We talked about this in this podcast before, but I think what I'm hearing you say, Robbie, and this is just your opinion, and this is podcast, and obviously we just talk about our own opinions on here. But if you had like 6 to 8 farm show type spectacles for the sport, where like the best of the best were out, and that would be the one thing you would probably be behind or change if you could do it in a fictional world.
I mean, if you want to keep everybody at the top of their game, you can't go 26 hooks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what it is.
Especially the way they are now.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Right.
You could run them on kill a little bit more, and knowing that you had time to.
And the money's just not there. Why would you do it 24 times? Do it 8 or 10, 12, whatever. You know what I mean?
And now they're not back to back to back as well, so that makes sense.
Well, let's just face it. Some of the classes you just can't run them like mini rods. I'm not gonna lie. We could probably run them 3 times a night if you wanted to. Yeah. I would. I kind of run my stuff to do that. Some people are running their stuff harder. I could run my stuff 3 times a night. I think.
We always made them durable. I want to back it up. You know what I mean? I can do it again.
Right.
A lot of people can't.
And we did it at Chapel Hill.
You know, there's a lot of people that
That was amazing.
Absolutely.
So Jesse Petro kind of spoke on in the dirt car racing world that there's almost some exclusivity to the fact that you sign a contract, you're saying you're going to be at, say, 10, 12 events. However, you're not allowed to go outside of those events. Therefore, it's keeping it exclusive to that contract. If people want to see those big names, they have to come to those set locations. I can see the pros, but I can see the cons to that as well because, you know, now you're stuck. You're going to those events, and if there's something else, you know, that pops up a couple hours away, you can't go run that. And, like, I still genuinely don't know how I feel about that because I can see both sides of it. What are your guys' thoughts on something like that?
I mean, I see that happening. I mean, you could always build another vehicle for them other events if you want to so choose. But
yeah, absolutely.
And watch Netflix and make some popcorn. I mean, that's pretty cool too.
There you go.
Yeah,
Maintenance too. You got to take time for them.
Yeah, absolutely. My question I like to ask everybody is, if it is Saturday night at Bowling Green, you were the last hook in the class. And obviously you always want to get that win, but it's always a little bit sweeter when you get to take it from that special someone. So out of everybody that you guys have pulled against, who does it mean that much more to you to bump out of that number 1 spot and take that W home?
Probably the Mastersons. I mean, they're probably the best pro stock tractor pullers out there.
Sure.
I wouldn't steal it from Don, but Kevin I would.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think? All the same, or you got some other thoughts there?
I'd always like to rip one from Esden's lawn.
Yeah.
But,
And so many people think that question is kind of like insulting, but in a way, like if it's that much sweeter, if you're going to take it,
With respect.
that really just means you respect the shit out of them. Like,
it's more respect than anything. Huge
Yeah.
respect.
absolutely, absolutely.
I should have won Louisville a couple times, but Donnie Masterson, he's always taken it away from me.
And somehow he seems to navigate towards the end of the class. I don't know if there's a ball rolling that needs to be done there to maybe change that, but I've witnessed some pretty amazing passes there right at the end of that class.
Yeah.
And pretty cool to watch.
That old boy's beat me multiple times, and it's just been kudos, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
As Rob, is there anybody you all like to beat?
Who, me?
Either one.
Yeah, Bob. I guess anybody that's there. I'm not,
I want Bob to get on Rev. I've been wanting Bob to get on Rev and make a pass.
I'll have a heart attack.
Both these guys Rev. And one with Rev. I think both of you guys.
I won the big shootout year of COVID. I had his tractor and our
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Bob, when's the last time you drove a pulling vehicle?
Me? Oh, it's been 20 years or more.
Will they not let you drive, or what's the deal?
No, it was just a deal. We were trying to get things to work, and I was driving it. Robby was driving it. My younger brother was driving it, and everybody was driving it different. And I told my brother, I says, we got to have one guy drive it because we're never going to figure nothing else out if we don't. You know, we got to get consistency.
Right.
You know, how do you tell your brother, I'm going to drive it and you can't drive it? So I said, we'll let Robby drive it. And
They picked a better looking one.
Yeah, picked a better one.
For that day.
No, it's just, it was something we needed to do. And I have as much fun watching it go down the track as
I do too. I mean, honestly,
I mean, Esden and Robby both do a good job. Robby's excellent, and Esden is getting there, and
Getting there.
Getting there. You
remember
your last
Hey, have you guys?
Hey, Esden, don't take this as an insult or anything. Next time, maybe sit on a milk carton so you're just as tall as the other guys there on the page.
Yeah.
They quit talking down on you. When you start raising your shoulders up a little bit, hey, you little bastards! I think I won my first pull a couple weeks ago. You can leave me alone now.
Red beard.
Well, Bob, if you ever, since Robby and Esden will let you drive the pro stock, if you ever want to drive a mini rod, let us know. We'll throw you in one.
Okay.
Big daddy.
Say Esden's light enough. I think he might be getting recruited to drive a mini rod as light as he is.
Esden's made for a mini rod.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah, how much do you weigh?
He's got to make children yet. He hasn't had any grandchildren and great grandchildren for Bob yet. So.
You can do that after he gets fat. But right now, you get on a mini rod while you're skinny, you're very dangerous.
Esden, you better get on it before you drive a mini rod, because if you drive it, you may not be reproductive.
Yeah, you'll say these pro stocks are like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
I drove a two-wheel drive in Texas for Kenny and Alex Laughlin here quite a few years ago, and the whole time I was looking at this aluminum driveline shield, and that thing would kind of like flex up a little bit, and it just scared the dog out of me. And I wrote it out, but I mean,
unfortunately, in a two-wheel drive, you got time to look around at things. In a mini rod, you don't.
You can't hear nothing after. That's why I got to wear these hearing aids all the time. My daughter.
That's no stab at two-wheel drives. I've driven one. They're very tricky to drive. One of the most challenging classes to drive, but mini rod by far is the business.
I think, on honest to gosh, if you really want to have to be an amazing driver, even on one of these, go on a two-wheel drive and be able to roll.
Even a four-wheel drive.
They could probably jump on anything and drive it, because they roll them out and do about as good as job anybody I never know.
Four-wheel drive, definitely. Like the diesel trucks, even the modified four-wheel drives, they're managing the power and keeping the tires on the ground. If you can drive one of them, I do believe you could drive anything else.
Theobald swore by that you need to start out two-wheel drive pulling and then transition into a mini rod, and you'll be a master. And I don't know who can argue with them in a year like this year. That's for sure.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
heard you dropping some big names there, with Alex and Kenny Laughlin. How did you kind of bump shoulders with them? Tell us about how that relationship began.
Yeah, so Kenny and Al,
What's that?
when I was in Texas and I was having my boys pull, they started a hot farm class down there in Texas, and we got involved in that. And I mean, we were driving 700 miles from Hereford area all the way down to central Texas just to go to these hooks, right? And when we were at I think De Leon or something, Kenny and Al had they had a mod, and then Al had a diesel. They had a diesel DP Performance or something on, and they also raced diesel Cummins drag cars also there for quite a while. And so they were on that deal quite a bit, and Al was just having a tough time. I mean, he'd get going down the track, something would happen, and one day I went up to Al and I'm like, hey, why don't you just jump on that red tractor and take her for a pass once? And he gets on it and does really good. I think he ended up second that first hook, and Kenny comes up to me at the end of the night and he says, hey, Link, he says, why don't you just leave this tractor down by us, and then we'll campaign it for the rest of the year, and you come down there whenever you want, and let's have at it. And I'm like, that's how it all started, and we've been friends ever since and done all kinds of wonderful things together. So
very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
So yeah, I'm trying to get Al to, I tried to get Al to come up and drive this pro stock. When he was racing 2 years ago, he was up in Brainerd, and I was trying to get him to come down and make a pro stock, because I was talking to Schultz about getting like a high, good name guy to come down and get some fan, and put him on the seat and do like a challenge, of him and somebody else, and just do a 2-tractor deal, make a run, and whoever won.
Right. I actually had some business dealings with Kenny and Alex Laughlin. The trailer that I own that we take everywhere, I bought it from Kenny, and I'd known Kenny before that. Actually, the guy is an awesome dude. I mean, it's awesome. A lot better. They're just amazing people. I've been down in his shop, and he'll treat you like part of the family. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal man. That whole pro stock deal, when it came along in the drag racing world, I mean, good for them, man. They did a great job with that. They've really taken off with it. So Kenny and Alex are great people.
Yeah, and they got big hearts too, kind of like these guys in Wildmans. I mean, those are the type of guys, they just they go the extra mile for you. You need something that's like, okay, how soon can I get it there for you? And that's what they think about. So
sure. Well, did Chase warn you guys earlier for a little segment we'd like to kind of round out the show with called 2 Truths and 1 Lie?
Yep.
All right. Is everybody going? Are we getting just one person going? What's the plan here?
Yeah, I guess it's me.
You. All right. Take it away, man.
All right. Holy shit. I gotta read this.
Holy shit. Hot start.
You got to read it. It's a lie.
Some of this.
I voted for Biden. That's a lie.
It's already over.
It's over.
It's over. Just stop.
I started tractor pull, or I drove the tractor the first time when I was 14 years old, and our tractor's got 39 Grand National pulls or wins.
Well, we know one of them is the truth.
I know.
Well, Rob, it's all about content and giving fans good information, and you ruined it when you said you voted for Biden. So I think we know which one's not true.
I'm gonna throw a little twist in this that we did with the Europeans. Mr. Link, if you can do 2 truths and 1 lie for Robby on the spot, you then get to tell us 2 truths about him that perhaps he didn't want to share that we might find surprising, could be a lie, and also mix a lie into the mix. Take it away, sir.
Okay. Robster, let me see. Last year, Robster tried out for the Cottage Grove Lions Club Whistlers. That's where you paint like a face, and you wear a hat down over your shoulders, and you
whistle out of your belly button.
You whistle, and it takes a lot.
Whoa. This is crazy.
And so he tried out for that.
Can't make that up.
He also told me about one time he was dating this girl and they were on top of a harvester. I don't know anything more than that. And a harvester silo. See what else? What other good one we have on Robster?
This is so wrong.
I love it.
I didn't know I was a farmer.
Here you over the number.
Oh gosh, it's getting closing time. I think that was his time off.
Keep going. We got one more.
You got one more.
Is it a truth or a lie?
Well, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall.
Don't tell us. We have to guess which one's the lie.
I think we're past the wall, John. I think we've already knocked it down.
I think John's trying to figure out which one's the lie.
Yeah, tell us one more. Tell us one more.
So, okay, tell you the truth, I met my wife on top of a harvester.
You met her.
He's BSing you.
He's BSing you.
You didn't know he was a farmer, huh?
That's Esden's mom, right?
And Robster really loves red engines. I mean, it is unbelievable how much Robster likes to go ahead and work on rev. I mean, he just absolutely thinks that red engine's amazing.
I'm going to go with the third one's a lie. Gentlemen, what do you think?
The third one for sure.
What's a lie?
The red engine is not your favorite.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I'm partial to certain people. John Lincoln, Tim Kaine, I'll do that all the time for them. You know, I love them guys.
Well, you kind of surprised me there with that Whistlers thing. Is that a real thing? I guess.
Just Google it. We went snowmobiling one time, and we thought we were going to try to. He's going to be a whistler.
Yeah. Can we get a bit of an explanation behind that?
Well, Robster took me snowmobiling. Was it last year before Louisville? No,
Yeah,
before
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Not Louisville, but
Yeah, it was Louisville.
Was it Shipshawana? Yeah. Anyway, we went up there and all of a sudden I had this great idea. I just thought, man, you know what would be amazing at this point in time in our life is like we could join the Cottage Grove Whistlers because I mean it's kind of the elite people that do that. I mean, you have to and rhythm, you know. I mean, us white guys, we maybe don't have the rhythm. I went to a black church, so they used to have us clap. You know, it's like be able to clap with the black people, so you guys stay in rhythm, you know. And so Robson lifted up his shirt, and pretty soon these women were over there drawing like lips on our bellies and stuff, and then we were just practicing whistling. And
had lipstick and mascara on my belly, and I forgot about it until the morning when you shower. It's like, oh no.
I stayed there for a week. Like I got back to Texas, and
it's
I'm
kind of like the cone thing at Toma. Oh no. No comment.
Yeah, we didn't bring it up. You did.
No shit.
It was an accident.
Funny.
So, better way to wrap a show up than with some behind-the-scenes stories from John Link. So we're going on 2.5 hours. This has been an awesome. I think I just saw we've had 10,000 people tune in already. So I'm pretty certain that's a record. Testament to the Lemke team. You guys have been kicking ass. Thanks for coming on the No Practice Podcast. Anything you all want to sign off with as a shout out or anything to the rest of Pulling World that you want to know before we cut this off?
No, you three are doing an amazing job. You know, we all love the sport. Honestly,
we all kind of want the same thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
End result, we want to all do good, and we love the sport and
have a little fun while we're doing it. So we don't, you know,
we all try hard, and you know, we put it all at it. You know.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a patent getting processed as we speak for flying road cones. So if nothing else, if the pulling dies, at least flying road cones were invented from this podcast tonight. But no, all seriousness, you guys are awesome. Want to definitely catch up and get some more of particularly the animal story in the trailer, some more details. We won't put that to the rest of the world, but
we should do a live one at the shop one day.
Yeah.
It'd be a great time.
We'll take you up on that, but thanks for coming on the show, and look forward. I guess the next time we'll see you guys out is Bowling Green, Ohio, right?
See you in Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's going to Robby as a final sign-off?
Yeah, we'll see you guys at BG. Best of luck there and everywhere else you guys go this year. Hope everything stays together and you guys have some good success.
You too. Hope you guys have good luck and drive safe, and we'll see you around.
Who's driving at BG?
Driving Bowling Green. We got to know this.
I'm gonna drive both.
Yeah.
Since he's the winner, you drive.
You're not driving Rob too, are you?
Everything.
With lipstick and mascara on your chest. We can't wait to see it.
Nobody sees it underneath the fire suit, dude.
So, cheers to you guys. Cheers to the Lemke Motorsports team, and we look forward to seeing you all. We'll be live Bowling Green, Ohio next Wednesday night, so we expect for you all to be there in person, and maybe you can show us this lipstick shit in person that we were talking about. So
we'll get a video. Just Google. I'll send you a Chase. I got your phone now. I'll text you the whistlers. You're gonna be excited.
He'll distribute it accordingly.
You might even sell the mini rod.
You might even join up.
Yeah.
And doing the whistling.
Cool. All right. Cheers to y'all. Thanks to the fans. Tune in. If you're there, come find us. We'll post details on where it's going to be. But till then, have a good time.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, boy.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
How about that? Those are some characters.
I love it.
That's pretty awesome.
Tyler, you're going to Hillsborough this weekend to GD Slama Pole, right?
Yes, absolutely. We got a little bit of Don in there on that show. Yeah, we're going to Hillsborough. We're going to run Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and then we'll be headed to Bowling Green shortly after that, provided I don't win that pallet of beer for the wildest mini rod wreck.
If you win the pallet, will you bring it with us? Bring you there.
100%.
Okay. All right.
The problem is if I get wildest mini rod wreck, I'm probably not going to be to Bowling Green on time. I'll be on that chassis table behind that tire, fixing all of my broken stuff. So, yeah.
You guys don't have a chassis laying around there anymore to throw up on there?
No, we actually used to have one hanging from the ceiling up here. There was a point in time where Bruce's old multi-engine tractor hung from that ceiling right there on that I-beam and just floated above our mini rods. And then there was a time we had a couple mini rod chassis hanging up there. But once Steve Boyd switched his chassis mid-season and we realized that you can't transfer a NTPA number to collect points, we're like, what do we have all these spares around for? Can't even use them. So got rid of them.
Yeah, somebody just reached out to Andy Leonard. Adam, did your steering wheel come off at last pull? Yes, it did. About 50 feet, 100 feet. Steering wheel definitely came off.
Man, if you'd have gotten the W, that would have been a real Jeff Hurt moment.
I mean, that's the thing, though. I think it really surprised me because by the time I figured out what was going on, I had drifted to the center of the track where you did not want to finish. But you know what? The front end packed the whole way. It was a nice run. Didn't turn the gear very well, so hang the front end very well. But yeah.
You'll have that sometimes. I see Todd Morris telling us we need to have Don on as a guest sometime. I think he would be quite the character based on the small sampling we got there of him. So we might have to go on.
He's a great guy. That is true. He is a great guy. So
can't wait to hang out with him. Fellas, anything else we need to touch on before we close this?
Best of luck this weekend, Tyler. You're going to be at Hillsborough. Me and Chase will be at Napoleon, one of the gyms on the circuit. That is a mini Bowling Green for anybody that's never been there. It should be quite interesting how that poll is going to take place this year.
You have a poll just Saturday, is that correct?
That is true.
Well, while I won't be there, I have heard that Sandusky is going to be having a free stream live event that is going to be available on Facebook and YouTube. So people that want to tune in and catch some of that polling action, tune in that way, August 9th. And
I hate to say it, guys, but we used to pull it at Sandusky, and I really liked that track. We had a lot of success there. It was a very, very good track.
If it goes okay, I think I'm going to go to that, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got mini rods there?
They do have mini rods, yep.
What is that, a region pull?
Let's do a hot chip challenge. Yeah, it's a region pull.
You
is
sure?
It region 2?
I'm just feeling my groove, Chase. Are you sure you want to do this?
Is it region 2?
It's region 2, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know that I'll put hot chip challenge wagering power on it, but Chase, I'm going to bet that on average, the 2 Canadian tractors are going to outdo your 2 tractors. What do you want to put on this for a wager?
Which are Canadians? I'm sorry. Which ones are they?
They run around Region 2 and kind of stomp around pretty loudly. They've got
The
the
triple play.
Yeah, double play.
Yeah.
Triple play and triple play unchanged, and triple play on double or nothing.
I wouldn't do anything I'm doing right now, so I'm gonna.
He probably would have. He probably would have bet on him before they got rid of those Alan Johnson or those one superchargers that they had last year.
Oh, the LMRs.
Yeah.
I'm not betting on anything I'm doing right now.
Chase, do you wanna make it tough? Do you wanna mix it in here? It doesn't have to be an intense wager. It can just be something fun for us to review at Bowling Green.
Well, I just have to show up there. I'm going to try to go up. I don't know if I'll make it, but yeah, let's. We can throw something out there. I don't care. Yeah, if we make it.
Okay.
2 versus 2.
How about if you go, the loser has to get hit with a stun gun mid beer chug at Bowling Green during the live podcast.
Jesus Christ. Some people might have heart conditions, Tyler. We can't be doing this.
This guy's going to show up. I think we need to do a little more planning, but yeah, I'd hate to tell some guys that didn't know anything about this podcast, like, hey, you come to Bowling Green, okay, you're getting hit with a stun gun.
No. They are not the victim. I'm placing myself as collateral.
Against them.
Yeah. So you have to beat them, and if you beat them, I'm the victim, and if they beat you, you're the victim.
2 versus 2?
2 on 2, best average.
What's a stun gun?
It's equivalent to the hot chip. It's not that hot at all.
No, it's not that bad. I'm not talking like taser shooting the wires. I'm talking about something I'll buy on Amazon that when you click the button, it arcs the little sparky deal across. Like, I'll spend like $20.
Hog shocker, dude. You can buy a hog shocker.
It's like with one of those. Hog shocker. So get
basically. I'll tell you what it's like. I'll tell you what it's like, Chase.
Finish.
What's that?
Is it combined distance or finish?
What do you want? Dealer's choice, buddy.
I don't want to get stun gunned. So.
No, but Chase, I think a stun gun's more or less is like somebody grabbing a hold of a spark plug wire off of a Briggs and Stratton.
I don't.
And
this
a little
is not
yank of the
near
cord there.
one chip challenge.
Yeah, I'll take a stun in Bowling Green. I'm fine with it.
Okay, so are we doing?
I don't even know these fucking guys. They're gonna come to me and fucking like get face to face with me. Like, you will get stunned. Like, I don't know who these guys are.
No. Once again, it's the bet is paid at Bowling Green. I'm either stunning you or you're stunning me.
Okay.
So like, they're my horse in a sense, but like, I'm betting on them against you. But I'm the one that gets the reward.
Chase,
or
the hate is that deep that he's willing to put his life on the line to watch you lose.
So that's how bad you hate me. But F you, let's stun somebody. Let's go for it.
Okay, lock it in.
Hey, you know what? Look, CJ just said it. Chase just got stunned then. He just got stunned.
Combined distance or finish?
Finish, I guess.
Finish?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we do combined distance? I don't know. Fuck, this is your game.
Hey, Adam, you as our neutral party, make the selection, combined distance or finish position.
I'm going to say, real quick, I would say combined distance.
Okay. All right. So, combined distance.
Now, combined distance means if somebody runs out of bounds.
If I run out of bounds, I still get distance. So I'm not hitting.
I agree.
No. Okay.
If you run out of bounds, the distance still counts. We can make our own damn rules here because it's our deal. So
okay. Right. No, we got some stick going on here. Is Chase driving both tractors, or is CJ going to run one deliberately out of bounds?
I am not letting him drive one of them. I'm driving them. I'm not getting tasered. Tasered my own ass.
He's going to drive it straight out of bounds. Oh, sorry.
To the grandstand before I get tased.
All right.
Well,
Chase,
there's a difference. You could go out of bounds, but you could go 300 feet. And are we counting the distance or are we not?
Yep. Nope. Combined distance. Nobody gives a shit about going out of bounds. I don't care how many banners you take out. Run it.
Yeah. All right. Deal.
Okay. Deal.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go there.
Be like in my face, like in my grill, like, oh, you think you got us? Like, I mean, I don't even know they are. I wouldn't know. I think actually I do know I met them. I'd be like, I don't know them. So
I'm gonna get a hold of my boy.
It's not me versus you. It's me versus Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that they better fucking lay the smack down on you, Chase. This is a big deal. All right.
Deal. Let's do it.
Wait, Robby is presenting something. If there's some sort of tie, possibly, should Adam
with
get the
distance?
Well, that's not going to happen. How about if finish-wise they tie and it's an even draw? If one gets first, the other gets fourth, and then Chase gets second and third. This is highly unlikely, Adam.
I get smacked for this?
But in the case that happens, you receive the taser.
What the hell is this?
Adam, you got to have a little skin in the game.
I'll do it. Hell,
all right,
it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
We're doing distance, right?
Yes,
yeah,
but if the tie based on finish position, Adam gets the taser. Highly unlikely, not going to happen.
Okay, I can do that.
Let's do it.
I still am not going to be the worst one out of this deal because Chase is going to get beat. I think.
I mean, Adam, unless you're going, are you going, Adam?
No, I'm not going.
Oh,
we got 3 tractors. We got to go over. We have to set up. We got a mailbox at Bowling Green when we get there. We're there like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get
unlike some. Just saying, I don't run regional stuff just because I think regional stuff is regional stuff. You know?
I don't know. I feel like there's a heavy implication there.
There's not a heavy implication.
What are you
saying?
I
think that I'm just saying, like, I don't go to a lot of region hooks ever.
Are you taking a run at me because I went to a region pull?
No. I think the YouTubers are coming after you, saying that you need to give that trophy back for going to a regional pull and beating them by 60 feet.
Oh, I already told them I'll give them the trophy back. I said the next Grand National pull they come to, I'll give them the trophy.
There you go. I love it.
What a dickhead.
All right.
Good
gentlemen, that's enough. Longest ever. We've blabbered too long. Our apologies for getting long-winded. Gentlemen,
we're gonna keep the live show short and sweet, we promise.
In Bowling Green, yeah.
Yes.
See you next week, gentlemen. Thanks to Lemke's. Cheers. Bring your tasers to Bowling Green.
Make sure you get your blood pressure and heart rate checked before you show up.
Not multiple tasers, just one. Everyone settle down. Cheers, fellas. See ya.
See y'all.
See you guys.
Greatest motorsport on earth. Introducing Full Pull Live. Your front row seat to all the action. Don't miss our next NTPA national event, the Henry County Fair Grand Nationals, August 10th from Napoleon, Ohio. Sign up at the brand new low price of $39.99 a month. Full Pull Live. The greatest motorsport on earth streams here.
That's a wrap.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any practice.
Bye-bye.